Are we live? I think we are. Are we good? We good? I'm just trying to make sure we live. What that say? What that say? Okay, we are live. What's up, boys and girls? Mumford and Kid Air back again. Your Alpha is here, as always. How's my pack doing out there? Okay, so um, had a y'all doing good? I should actually. Are y'all doing good? Y'all doing good? I'm hoping y'all doing good, as always. I'm hoping y'all are enjoying yourselves, having a good weekend. Little shocking, isn't it, to have the first Q&A, um, uh, open mic Q&A on a Saturday. Yeah, today, guys. The My managers and things like that at my job, I had Saturday off, so I was like, let me knock a Saturday out for you for the first one. As you guys know, I do two open mic Q&As a month. I'll do the next one probably end of October. But the other thing also, guys, is I had an extraordinary, crazy week last week. Comic Con came through, and your boy had a great time as always. I had put up some videos to show everything. I will show off again if you missed those videos. I'll show what I purchased at Comic Con. I put up all 175 pictures I took there. I'll put a link in the description later on where you can see the whole album that I put up. Had met some great cosplayers, and I'll talk more about that. People, so if you have questions for me about Comic Con, please don't feel free to ask. Um, Things like that. But this week I've just been relaxing and getting back, because I had took that whole week off from my job last week. I was off, so it was just really good to just enjoy myself. I met some great people. I'll talk about some of the highlights in terms of the people I met. Um, and we should have a good time as always. So if you see me running now the one thing I will be doing is I might be running back and forth, guys. So bear with your boy on that because I'm actually cooking. So I'll be running back and forth. So don't mind me. Don't mind that, okay? Um, Everything like that. But we're gonna have a good time, right? I hope so. I hope so, my pack. We should have a good time. Um, it should be a lot of fun. Getting the set and make sure I get shut up, me. Shut up. Okay, shut up. So I'm gonna make sure I have the questions ready and things like that. Uh, and then things like other things like that. Like I said before, you guys can ask me questions about Comic Con and things like that. I'll talk more about Comic Con as well, but I'm ready for your questions. And I'm hearing my brother about to come up the stairs right now, but I am ready. But like I said before, bear with your boy, bear with your alpha, because I will be running back and forth because I'm cooking as well, things like that. So let's see who's here, things like that. Let's see who's here, and I'll be ready. Okay. All right. So let's see. We have Asia Robinson. Robinson. Okay, what pack members are here? Marion is here. Darth is here. Travis is here. J Money J. I think this is new. Somebody flowing into the pack. I'm not sure. Barry King. And anybody? Eli Brad. Oh my God, Eli. I haven't seen Eli in a while. Hey, what's up, Eli? Uh, and Juan is here as well. So let's get to the questions. Matter of fact, let's show off what I purchased at this year's con.
Before that, your cappuccino.
Okay, yeah, your boy drinking cappuccino. I'm, I'm not a big cappuccino guy, but Malcolm said I like it, so I'll drink it. That's gonna wait for now. Um, so let's show you. I'm gonna show you guys off everything I got from the con, and then I'll get into your questions and everything like that. This was the first con that I actually purchased a lot of things. Usually I don't purchase stuff. I just go for the enjoyment. But they were giving this bad boy out for free. The Dragon Ball Broly um, super movie. This comes out January next year. Looking forward to this. This should do a better job of giving a more backstory to Broly. So that's going to be good. I picked up a lot of prints as well. Over to Ed McGuinness, the man himself, and Ed McGuinness was there, and he had a lot of his prints out, and his prints, and he signed them as well. So I'm gonna show off some of the prints I got. Of course, anytime I see Spidey, of course I'm gonna get a Spider-Man. As you can see, he signed it down there, Ed McGuinness right there. And I saw the Spider-Man. I was like, yeah, that's coming with you, boy. And then I saw one of my favorite females in comics. I was like, Rogue? Fuck yeah. Heck yeah, I'm getting my Rogue. My Rogue, yes. And his assistant was like, he's like, you like her that much? I was like, yeah, man, I love Rogue. He's like, but you can't touch her. I'm like, my boy, where you been? She's fully control of her powers now. So yeah. This is her Savage Land. And of course, when I saw one of my childhood heroes, He-Man, I was like, yeah, I gotta get this. I was like, I can't believe Ed McGuinness drew He-Man. I was like, that's the perfect artist to draw He-Man. The most powerful man in the universe. I was like, yeah, I get that. Then before I left, I walked over to another artist. He goes by the name of, one moment, please. I'm gonna try this. All right, not bad, not bad. I went over to this artist by the name of Crease. I actually put up the video of me filming him draw Jason Todd, and he's really talented. And I saw he had all these prints. He spells his name Crease. It's kind of like an innuendo for Chris, but it's spelled Creeees. And he had a lot of prints. And once again, sometimes, guys, when I see, it's hard for me to pick a different print if I see my favorite hero in there. And unfortunately, yeah, I saw Spider-Man in there again. I was like, damn it, I gotta get it. And he drew Spider-Man beautifully. This is his artwork. It's not, but and of course he signed it at the bottom. Very good. And then of course I picked up some comics as well. Had to. I picked up a few comics. There was this lovely woman, lovely sister that I took a picture with as well. She has a comic series. Her name is Shaquinta. I hope I'm saying her name right. L. Smith, and she's writing this series called Raven Cho or Choi. It's actually also there's also actually a feature, like not a feature film, but a short film of her character too. And she's won a couple of awards for it. Her name is Shirio Comics. You can find it. Basically, what this series is about, I haven't read it yet, but the concept is basically this young woman is her parents are murdered, and she goes off later on because it's not safe for her. We find out that her parents are murdered. It seemed more like a hit. It wasn't just a random acting of violence. And she goes to live off in Korea. So she's an African American woman living in Korea, and basically she has to learn the culture, learn the language, turn her whole life around, and she comes back later as a bounty hunter to find out who killed her parents. And I'm looking forward to reading that. The first time I saw this at the first time was at the first day I went, and I didn't have I wasn't really gonna buy anything that day, so I was just like, okay, let me just. But her assistant was there, and she was telling me about it, and I said I'll come back tomorrow. I'll come back Friday, and I'll purchase this. Got all three of these books for $15. So 3 for 15. Then When I was over at Jim Zub's uh, over at his booth, got to talk to Mr. Zub. He signed my 20th anniversary of Thunderbolts, and he was a really good guy. He was just explaining, how he got into the industry and everything like that. He currently writes the Champions. Okay, that's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, but he also does a lot of. I've also read a lot of his work that he's done with the Street Fighter series for Udon Comics. The Cammy, um, a couple other people he's done. But the one book that really interests me from his created own book was his own creative stuff was this story, Glitter Bomb. And so I was just like, okay. And the way he was talking about it, basically, the concept is that this woman is an actress who's about to reach 40. She's not getting a lot of roles anymore. It's kind of that stigmata now in Hollywood now. Once you reach 40, it's almost like you're not looked at, especially in terms of women, you're not looked at as being attractive or anything like that anymore. And she's pissed off, she's mad, yada yada yada. So what happens is she all of a sudden a demon comes to her, basically knocks on her door, is like, I can help you get even with these people if you let me help you. And yeah, it gets really gritty. Mr. Zub told me it's a horror crime mystery. And I'm like, okay, horror. I like crime. I like mysteries. So I was like, I bought these from him, and so I'm definitely going to look forward to reading that. I'll review it as well, guys, when I'm finished. So those are practically everything I bought. Maybe next year I definitely want to buy more, because usually, guys, when I'm there, you should see the people that be having like these big bags just full of stuff, and they just be walking around with them, and I'm just like, it was cool. But this year, as you guys know, I didn't cosplay this year. I wanted to. I was gonna cosplay this year as Agent Soldier 76 from Overwatch, but the guy who was doing my costume, his brother had passed away, and so he couldn't finish it, and he was gonna give me back my money. But then I told him no. I was like, no, dude, finish it. I'll wear it. At a future con or something like that. And a lot of this year's con had a lot of Spider-Man. There was a lot of people dressed up as Spider-Man, and I wasn't surprised. He's had this big hit game that just came out, and all different variations of Spider-Man. From the classic, the Ditko wings and everything to black suit, to the movie, to the video game costume. And even the last picture I took from my 2 day adventure at Comic Con was I took it with a guy dressed up as Cosmic Spider Man, and he was really cool. He was a cool brother. I was like, yo, Cosmic, can I get a picture? He's like, yeah, man, come on. And he put back on the mask, and we took a picture together. Like I said, guys, when this gets fully into a vid, not live, I'll leave a link in the description of all the pics that I took. There was a lot of people there, a lot of creators I met, so it was a lot of fun. But without further ado, let's get into some of these questions for you guys. Okay. Um. Hello. I saw the pic of you getting choked by Michael Myers. I'm surprised you got away. Yeah, that was fun. Who's with that? Marion. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I was down in Artist Alley. That's in the Javits Center. So if you've never been to the Javits Center, if you've never been to New York City in general, the Javits Center it's it's a big center. It's really big, and they also have car shows there and all that too. So it's like 2 floors. Artist Alley was in the down below. They used to have it in another section, but they lobbed off that section now. It's no longer there. But anyway, I was in Artist Alley, and I'm watching, getting ready to take some more pictures, and this dude walks by dressed up as Michael Myers, and I was like, yo, Michael, I was like, can I take a picture? And he turned around, he's like, yeah, sure, dude. He's like, and I was like, and I told him, I said, I turned to his girlfriend. I was like, can you take a picture? He's like, yeah, sure. And she said, and I told him, I was like, dude, choke me like you're choking me. Now, the first time he choked me, he literally was choking me. Like his thumb was in my Adam's apple. So when he was pulling back, and he was choking me, I was like, yo, yo. He's like, you all right? I was like, yeah, you was getting too much into the role. So the next time he did it, but I should have been a little bit more like scared instead of like I looked happy about it. Like, but it was still fun. I have a lot of pictures of people like there was a guy dressed up Deathstroke. I had told him like put the sword to my neck, like gonna kill me. There was a woman dressed up like Freddy Krueger, and she had the claws at my neck, and I was like, and Harley I had a Harley Quinn who had the hammer, and I told her crack me over the head with the hammer, and it was I was just having a ball like I always do. So it was fun. Um, so yeah, I did a lot of that. What do I think of Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn leading the Birds of Prey? I don't really like it. I'm not really fond of that. You know, it's Harley that forms the movie version of the Birds of Prey. I don't. Um, I just don't really feel that. Um, we'll still see how it goes. I like the actress who's playing. I love Mary Elizabeth Winston who's playing Huntress. I'm not too. I'm still kind of iffy on Black Canary because I don't like that. And Rosie Perez now has been casted as Renee Montoya. That's pretty good casting. So, but it is what it is. Perry King asked me how was my time at this year's con. It was great as always. Uh, I think they should have casted either Rosario Dawson or Michelle Rodriguez, Renee Montoya, aka The Question. What do you think? Uh, Michelle Rodriguez would have been cool. I like Rosie Perez. Don't knock Rosie Perez. I think people get on this fact of Rosie Perez is the fact that she, you know, if you've seen the past work she's done, she's kind of all really her. One of my friends was like her voice though, and I'm like she can lower that voice. It's not deep. And the way I'm looking at it is they want a veteran actress as this role. And I'm not saying that Michelle or Rosario is not veteran, but yeah, I could have taken it. Darth Primus, do you think that Dave Bautista could pull off a great Bane? Um, uh, I don't know. Look, the problem I have with the whole like he's interested in Bane because James Gunn is. Think about it. He's only interested in Bane because James Gunn now is attached to do the whole Suicide Squad too. If how come he wasn't interested in Bane prior to that? You know, and I think a lot of people forget that um, it doesn't. Is it about his race? No, because Bane is Latino. I think a lot of people forget that. But mass wise, he's big enough. He's shrunk a lot, but mass wise, he would be very imposing as a Bane. Um, Tom Hardy was cool, but he wasn't a big hulking Bane. When I think of Bane, I think of a big man and that could just get bigger. Not like Arkham Asylum Bane. I hate that design for Bane, but I keep maybe. I'm just saying. Um, did you hear Chuck Chuck Wendy got fired? Do you who's Chuck Wendy? Give me some on that one. Also, are you will you be watching Sabrina on Netflix? Hell yeah. Looking forward to that. Marion, do you hope that the Bumblebee movie does well enough to that you might make it a soft? It seems like it is kind of a soft reboot, and the more I keep looking at the Bumblebee movie in general, it's just like once again, I'm like, why wasn't this done before? Like designs, everybody. It's like, why wasn't this done before? Um, let's see. J Money, what are your thoughts on the Titans TV show? They screwed up the whole with the. I will not be watching that. I have a good friend, Mr. J. He watched the first episode, and he said it was horrible. There was certain things he liked, and there were a lot of things he hated. And I told you guys from Jump Street, I will not support that show. I don't care. I told him, I was like, he said he's gonna watch it and suffer, and he's like, anybody else want to join me? And I'm happy to. I told him, Jay, I love you, man, but I'm not putting myself through that crap. I'm not watching this. Just when he started describing what's going on with Starfire alone, that was like, nope, no way. So that show can go screw itself. Perry King, how did you feel? How did it feel to cosplay as Agent 47? Last year I cosplayed as Agent 47. It was great. It was great. Um, the problem, I think a lot of people didn't even know who I was. I was just like, really? Like, some people knew, but it was late. It was too late when they figured it out. Like I said, I had the tattoo on the back of my head, but it kept falling off. It was the so I had to like, I don't know what it was. It was supposed to be like a tattoo. You wet it and it'll stick on. It didn't. It kept coming right off. But I was in Agent 47 mode. Like, I was trying not to speak too much, and I had the serious face and things like that. Um, People just didn't get it. I got. Um, Marion, did you feel for Black Adam when he lost his wife Isis? Yeah, I did. And then World War III happened, and yeah, that was it. Thoughts on Tom Taylor writing Spider Man? Congratulations. He's going to be writing a new version of the Friendly Neighborhood Spider Man. Tom Taylor is getting around. I'm a big fan of Tom Taylor. That's a writer I would love to meet. Speaking of writers, guys, like I said, I'll be talking about Comic Con throughout this whole vid. And I met some of my favorite writers and favorite creators and artists as well. Um, I met right now. I'll tell you right. I had got the first four issues of Immortal Hulk signed by Al Ewing himself. That was my second time meeting Al Ewing, and it was great to talk to him and just tell him how I felt about what he's doing with the Hulk. It's really good, and I like it. Things like that. It was great, and I tweeted to him, and he was like, "It was really nice to meet you again." Most of the writers, artists that I met before, they recognized me. So it was really cool. Um, so it was cool. Uh, let's see, what else will we? Okay. Hey Chris. Oh, Eli Bradley. Sorry. uh, would you love a Tony Robinson? Would you love a Dragon Ball Z game, just a Dragon Ball game where you could choose to be the villain or the hero? Somebody asked me this yesterday, last time, and I said, yeah, it don't matter. I don't mind. I don't. But they're just sticking to the stories. Um, J Money says, if they do Black Adam movie with Dwayne Johnson, do you think they should cast Isis in the film, and who do you think could play her? Um, I'm not sure. I think they're gonna tease him in the Captain Marvel movie. Because I'm thinking that's where Doctor Savannah got. That's why he has that eye, the tomb of Black Adam. So, if they're going more with the New 52 route, then Isis won't be in it. But if they did go with Isis, um, let's see, who could I could see playing him. Um, man, that's a hard question. I might have to come back to that one. I think I seen her on. She's on Westworld. I think she could probably pull it off. Because I would want an actress of color to play Isis. Wouldn't want a white woman playing her. Sorry. Um, Travis, why are people surprised when when get fired for something stupid on Twitter? Um, I don't know. I don't know. And Marion, would you like to see Venom get his own video game? Mm, well, once again, I don't. Looks like Venom's gonna be in the next Spider-Man game, but it's gonna be somebody else. So, yo, Chris, your boy Danny is here. What up, Dano? Perry asks me, did you hear that Netflix canceled Iron Fist? Yes, I did. After 2 seasons, Iron Fist got canceled. I'm not too surprised, and I'm not shocked, and I'm not mad either. His show got canceled, but Finn Jones is still going to be Iron Fist. And think about it, with Marvel, with Disney starting their own streaming service, and um, with the whole factor of, they got a couple of two Marvel shows coming. We don't know it. They might say, hey, you know what? We'll take Iron Fist then, or Iron Fist could finally be properly introduced into the MCU. I don't, I'm thinking positive about this, not negative about it. That's how I look at it. And I'll be right back, guys. Okay, like I said, guys, sorry. Like I said, I'm gonna be going back and forth. So yeah, Travis also said, I am also I've always been a big fan of Rogue and Gambit as a couple. Yeah, they're married now too. So and the Mr. and Mrs. X is actually good. Jodie Halster, no, Kelly Thompson writes that. I met Jodie Halster, the writer of Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows. Really lovely woman, nice woman. Took a picture with her. It was fun. She was fun. That cappuccino was actually really good. Not bad. Um, why they cancel Iron Fist? I it was always said that they may cancel it because of, I guess, the poor reception that the first season got. Um, it is what it is. Who was laughing in the background when you sipped your? That's probably Malcolm you hear in the background. That's my brother. He's talking with my cousin out in the living room. But, I'm almost done watching, and I gotta say it's a big improvement from what was. Yeah, it is. It was. It was. And it ends on a cliffhanger. So, uh, let's see. Um, let's see. I wonder if there's plans with the stick to the Daughters of the Dragon show. No, maybe we probably. I don't know. We probably see Mr. Coker, the executive producer you know, uh, on Luke Cage. I wouldn't mind him actually just making a Luke Cage and Iron Fist TV show. That could probably work because it'd be almost symbolism to why Marvel put them together, because both of their series got canceled and it wasn't working for them. Same thing with DC, why they put Green Arrow and Green Lantern together at one point. Um, the Tournament of Power and the new Broly move should be put into a Dragon Ball game. Stop saying Z, ball. It's just say balls. Z is a different series. It's not. Um, Flying Soul this time. Hey Omnitron, how you doing? How's the wife? Uh, the video is mirrored. Really? I don't know. I don't know. And you still can see me, guys, right? So it ain't a problem with it. Did you hear that WWE is getting backlash over having the Crown Jewel event in Saudi Arabia? Yeah, I have, and I don't blame anybody for having that. I'm not watching it. So I don't support that. I'm not gonna watch the Crown Jewel. Malcolm's not gonna watch the Crown Jewel. Um, so I yeah, I've heard the reasons, but I won't be watching it. I'm not gonna watch that. Not at all. Uh, uh, were you in? Uh, you were it for Halloween. Um, I don't know what you're talking about, Juan. But I am gonna go see the Halloween movie. Like I said before, people were asking me, "Did you see the Venom movie?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't see it. I'm not. I really don't care to see it. I hear people liked it. Tom Hardy's performance. I'm like, I'm not shocked about his performance. It's just that that was never a big. It was not on a big blip on my radar. What's so big on my radar is the new Halloween movie. The Halloween movie. That's a must see for me. So yeah. Um. So yeah, that I don't really care about that. Have you played Detroit? I played it once. I have not. I don't have it, but I gotta get it. All the comics you just described should be adapted to TV shows or movies because they sound interesting. Like I said, Miss Smith, who wrote Raven Show, she's actually screenplaying for a movie. Um, she's actually screenplaying for a movie. But the fact of the matter is that she told me um, sh- she's not gonna do it until Hollywood kind of get their shit together because of the fact that she told me straight. She's like, because I'm not having a white woman as my character, and I'm like, yeah. The way she describes it, and it's just like, think about it. They would cast a white woman to play her character Raven. So I'm like, I can understand. Um. So yeah. Uh. They should have casted Kathan Whittick as Black Canary. That's the girl from Viking, right? Because that's who I always wanted. She's dope. I'm sure. So you're saying this Comic Con was pretty much Spider Verse? Yeah, it was Spider Man everywhere. Everybody was Spider Man. Whether it was Spider Gwen, there was a family that I took a picture of. He was Spider Man. The wife was Spider Gwen. The child was Spider Ham. I was like, yeah, it's so cool. There was a woman there dressed up as She Hulk, but she looked like Jennifer Walters when she was in her lawyer suit, and she looked great. I saw one woman dressed up as Echo, and I caught her from when I was waiting online to meet David Finch again. And I saw her. Girl was thick as fuck. And she was like, and I was like, yo, Echo. And she turned around and she's like, yep, she had the handprint on her face, everything. She looked great. Um, what are your thoughts on the Khalib and Connor fight? Uh, uh, Connor got beat. That's the best way to describe it. He didn't get beat, just beat. He got tapped. He tapped out. Connor, like I said before, Connor. My problem with Connor McGregor is his mouth. And his mouth is something that I want sometimes people to shut it up. Like, shut his mouth up. Like, sometimes he's a small Irish man, and he's a big man in a small Irish man's body. That's the best way I could describe it. Like, he runs his mouth, and now I don't appreciate what happened afterwards, but other than that, yo, he got beat. It's plain and simple. He wasn't defending the title. It got stripped from him. They stripped him. He tried to get it back. It is. But all that leading up to this, you saw him throwing chairs and everything like that. It's like, man, dude, get out of here with that. That's all it is. Um, Charlie Hullman as Oliver Queen, aka should be a. I've heard a lot of people say, yeah, he can be Ollie. He talked about it when he was promoting King Arthur. Um, he never said he was interested in playing a superhero, so it is what it is. Have you been have I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and it's so fun. Yeah, I hear it's fun. I haven't played it yet. I'm glad people are liking it. So Assassin's Creed is doing some different things. Like it's not the same old, but here you're in Greek, and it's cool. I have to admit, Halloween theme is the best horror theme ever. Yeah, and it scares the crap out of me. I'm not even joking about that. My brother likes to pick on me with that. I can't listen to it straight up. If I'm in the dark and that song come on, I gotta turn the lights on because that just era gives me a creepy vibe. Like Michael Myers is probably the one of the only horror icons that legitimately scares me. Like tends to scare me because of the fact that he's more based on realism. That's a scary thought, and that's what goes in my head. Nobody, no, Freddy never scared me. Jason never scared me. Chucky damn sure never scared me. I kicked that damn dog. Pinhead hell did not scare me. Um, Leatherface somewhat, but nobody like Michael Myers. I'll be right back. Okay. Do you think the vice principal on Black Lightning may return as an outsider? I have not watched Black Lightning. My week has just been so busy up until now. I've been working just nonstop, so I have not watched Black Adam. I mean Black Lightning. I have not watched Flash. When I end this, I'm going back to watching Flash. I started Flash, and I'm liking his daughter so far. So please no spoilers about Black Lightning or any of that stuff. So please, I have not watched it yet. What are your thoughts on Laurie Strode and Dr. Loomis from the Halloween franchise? I love Jamie Lee Curtis. Always been a fan of hers. And this new one, I love. If you listen to all the interviews that Miss Curtis has been talking about Laurie in for this, it's all about PTSD and somebody who has a major trauma like that. And I like the approach that they took. This new one abolishes all those other sequels. Just focus on that first movie, that Halloween 1978. What happened to Laurie then? She was 17, and then it goes from and in 40 years it goes from there. Laurie had a kid. The state took her kid away from her. Now and her child has a her daughter's played by Judy Greer, who you mostly see as doing a lot of comedy roles, but here she's and her daughter's a psychiatrist, and then she has a daughter, so it's like a generation right there. And I'm like, okay, this should be really good. And Carpenter even praises this one, so the man himself says, I'm definitely looking forward to. So it should be good. What do you think of spoils? What who do you think spoils Marvel movies more, Tom Holland or Mark Ruffalo? Um, I probably had to say they kind of are tied, but I want to say Mark Ruffalo more. Look, Tom he's still a young man, and he's just so excited to be a part of this. If you were 19, 20 years old and you're a big major character, and you're gonna want to spoil something too, like, oh my god, I can't wait to see this. I did that. It's like, okay. And yes, I did see the pics of his new costume. Now it's red and black. It reminds me of the Alex Ross cover, as well as Superior Spider-Man a little bit, which fuck that. Excited for the live action Doom Patrol. Hope they. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for They got some good casting and I actually saw what Brendan Fraser is going to look like as Machine Man, and he doesn't look too bad. He doesn't look too bad, but I am excited for that. I am excited for that. And the Swamp Thing for sure. The Harley Quinn, I'm interested. That cartoon, I'm interested in. We'll see where that goes. Um, okay. Let's see. Let's see what else. Well, Blade returned to the MCU. Marvel's got Marvel has two projects for Blade, and they're right now they Wesley Snipes said they're talking to him. So what does that say for you? There you go. Bane should be played by a Latino. I wouldn't mind. Um, have you ever read Jughead the Hunter? I heard of it, never read it. I'd rather have Batgirl in the Birds of Prey instead of Harley. In the first script, Perry, she was actually Barbara was in it. Barbara was in the first script, and now they scrapped it. I don't know why. Because when I think about the Birds of Prey, I think about the trinity of the Birds of Prey, and that trinity is always Babs, Dinah, and Lena. That's the trinity right there. Now you got two out of three. Let's see what else we can. I went. I mean, I meant Chuck Window Wig, writer Marvel. Oh, he got fired. Oh wow. Huh. Any breaking news from Comic Con? This is from the West. I didn't go to a lot of panels. I didn't go to a lot of panels. I just was down in Artist Alley. I was up in the on the showroom floors. I wanted to play a little bit of the Resident Evil 2, but that line was so freaking long. Uh, I was like, okay, wanted to play some Soul Calibur. I didn't get to play that. Um, but there was a lot of comic news coming out, from especially from Marvel, especially the New Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a teaser. Donnie Gates is going to be writing it, and it's a teaser with a lot of cosmic characters: Nova, Beta Ray Bill, Moondragon, Quasar, Groot, Silver Surfer, Gladiator, all these people, and it says six of these individuals will make up the new Guardians, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. Let's see. Mm, who's your favorite cartoon villain from the '90s? Mine is David Xanatos from Gargoyles. Yeah, he's up there. Um, yeah, he's up there. I can agree with that one. Uh, uh, did you hear that The Rock is going to play John Henry? Yes, he's producing a Netflix. It's going to be on Netflix. He's producing it, and he's going to star as John Henry. Now, I've been hearing especially a lot of black folk, especially, gone and say, they're not really feeling this. They're not really feeling that he's in this because he's playing this role. John Henry is a folk hero. He's the man with the hammer who raced the machine and he died. He beat a machine, but he died. In all the interpretations of John Henry, the steel driving man, he's always as being a very dark skinned black man. And I can understand that where some people are coming from, but I think people forget that Rock is black. He is black too. So though they do focus a lot more on his Samoan side, but he is black. So, but that shouldn't drive you from not supporting it. It's the same thing how in an upcoming Robert Zemeckis movie, he's going to play King Kamehameha the first in a movie. Yeah, for all those who don't know about there was a king of Hawaii before it was taken over. Um, King Kamehameha, and I'm not joking about that. There is a guy. There was a king called King Kamehameha. It's not just what you see from what Goku does. No, and Rock is going to play him in the movie. directed and produced by Robert Zemeckis. There were a lot of Hawaiians that were against that. They were saying the same thing. Same thing that a lot of black folks are saying. Like, why him? Uh, no. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, yes, I understand that maybe there could have been a better actor to play, but you also got to look at from Rock. He People know him. He gets buzzworthy no matter what. That's how I look at it. He is producing it. Does that mean he should star in it? No, but you know what it is, how it is. Okay, did you hear about the update on the Fox merger? Sources say the deal will be finalized early next year. Yeah, I hear January 1st. January 1st on a dot. I'm hearing that merger could be done. So, yeah, that's crazy. And if that goes down, then somewhere down the line, then if it goes down that early, that's saying a lot. That Marvel, Kevin Feige, and all of them are really like, okay, we starting to set the ball for Phase 4 really quick. That'll be a tease right there for me. You think Lady Shiva could appear in Gotham TV show? I can care less about Gotham. J Money. I don't watch the show. I don't like the show. So I could care less about that. They can do whatever the hell they want. I still say Iron Fist will merge with Luke Cage, and thus Heroes for Hire. That's what I'm saying. He's still playing the role. His show's over, but he hasn't been fired from the role. Kind of like how the actor who played Constantine, his show got canceled, but he's still playing the role. Finn Jones is still going to be Danny Rand, and I'm sure all the other actors and actresses who like actor Christian who plays Colleen is still going to be Colleen. I'll be right back again. Yo, okay. Let's see. Where are we now? I hope you guys don't mind. Like I said, I'm cooking, so I'm running back and forth. So, hi Chris. Hey Asia. Uh, okay, how many Robinsons in there? We got. Okay, Tony's different. Okay, it's spelled different. Okay. Did you see Venom? No, I did not. Like I said before, didn't see it. Ruby Rose's Batgirl could be a breakthrough role, but her acting, I'm not sure. Do you think she could pull off the role? Yes, I do. And I love her in the costume. That was beautiful. I was looking at that. Soon as they showed her in full costume, I was like, that is beautiful. She looks beautiful. Spot the hell on. I was like, the only thing that's missing is the red gloves, the red boots, things like that. But I loved it. I didn't nitpick like them fools over at IGN. I can't stand listening to anything on IGN. They nitpick every little thing. It's ridiculous. It's like how y'all call yourselves fans, but you're nitpicking and they'll stay on it forever and ever. I cannot watch. I cannot. The only reason why I'm subscribed to IGN here on YouTube is because when they have trailers, that's it. I don't listen to any of them what they talk about. I don't. All the people that I did like on IGN, they left. They left the company. They don't. They're not even with the company anymore. Um. Let's see. Would you like to see a third prototype game? I'd take another one. Definitely. Um. Chris, did you hear? Chris, have you heard of the YouTubers Jody, Corner, and J3 Entertainment? I think I've heard of J3 Entertainment, but I don't. I've never heard of Jody Connor. I have to look them up. Um, Comic Con, I also got to meet the Finches again. Like I said, David and his wife Meredith. She knew me. That was my second time meeting them again. Mr. Finch signed a couple of comics that he did the artwork for, the cover for. I took my Shadow Batman that he did the cover, issue number one, he did the cover for, and I took my Charlie's Angels that he did the cover for, and he signed that for me. Nice. David Finch is a really nice guy. He's just a really nice guy. His wife's even more funny. I love her writing. I took my Xena number one. I took the Little Mermaid comic that she wrote for Zenoscope, and I took what else did I take? I took something else. I know I took something, but she knew me because me and her are friends on Facebook. So when she saw me when I came over to say hi, she got out. Oh, she came and hugged me and things like that. It was really fun. I was like, yeah, I was looking for you yesterday. You weren't here, and she's like, oh, she's like, yeah. Our son we were celebrating my son's birthday. I was like, how old he turned? 15. I was like, oh, cool. So, um, let's see. Marion, honestly, I don't blame the cast for what happened in the first season of Iron Fist. I blame the showrunner more than anything. You gotta. The thing about shows, TV shows in general, and sometimes you can't really blame the cast because they're just doing what is being written. You do sometimes, yeah, you got to put it on showrunners and people like that, producers, and that's about it. Um, I was talking about your cosplay costume that you didn't. Oh, my cosplay. Yeah, I didn't wear it. Like I said, I couldn't wear it. The guy who's gonna. The piss what was making me upset was I took a lot of pictures of characters from Overwatch. I took a picture of McCree. A lot of Mercies were there. Diva. There was a little 9-year-old girl. She was dressed up like Diva, costume, everything, and her wings would extend. I was like, so cool, and I posted on Instagram, and she commented back. She was like, "Thank you for posting this." I was like, it was so everybody wanted to take a picture of her. Some of the great cosplays there was this guy who's dressed like Doomsday. He was full Doomsday, like it was crazy. And this woman who was who was dressed up as the Predator, but she just had her curves and she was a female Predator. She was great. She was a highlight. Um, so yeah, and it was one of the big highlights at Comic Con was the dance off they were having upstairs between a bunch of Spider-Men and a couple of Shy Guy from Mario. It was so much. Everybody just stood there and watched it. It was so funny. So it was fun. Um, Perry King, do you have a bit of respect for Schumacher for apologizing for making Batman? Yeah, yeah. First of all, Joe Schumacher, I'll always have because he gave me Lost Boys. So yeah, I always have. But at least he came out and admitted, like, yeah, I put my own flavor into Batman, which shouldn't have been. Yes, Joe Schumacher is openly gay, and he kind of did put a little bit of that into. I mean, you could see it all over, even through Forever. It started with Forever, and then it just got worse in Batman and Robin. Forever, you saw it. I was always like, what's with all this neon? Like neon this, neon gangs with phosphorescent paint over on their face, and I was just like, this is weird. Made Gotham look really weird. Um, Chris, do you think Gwen should be introduced in Spider-Man Far From Home? They say I think they casted her, but I think this version she may be European. She could be from Europe instead. And if Gwen turns out to be, let's say she's British, I'm like, okay, I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that. We're gonna see Spider Gwen in Into the Spider Verse, and I'm cool with that. So she's moving up. J Money, who was the worst Batman in films in your opinion, Chris? George Clooney. That's easy. That's an easy. George Clooney was the worst. He was the worst Batman ever, and he's taking responsibility for that. He was the worst. He was not even Batman. He was just George Clooney. And I like George Clooney, but I'm like, yeah, that was the wrong pick for Batman. Um, Chris hates Connor's mouth like much as I hate the Miz. Yeah, he's right up there too. I got no problem saying that. Marion, what are your thoughts on Patrick Mulligan, aka Toxin? Carnage's son. He's cool. He's all right. And then Eddie Brock took over as Toxin for a while. Um, Funny thing about Miz, he's a Grand Slam. I don't care. The X Files theme spooks me a little bit too, not so much as the Halloween theme. I don't know, the X Files theme never really creeped me out. But the Halloween, I get creeped out. I have an uneasy vibe. I get paranoid because I'm looking over my shoulders a lot. Yeah, that creeps me out. Um, Yo, Chris, what do you think of Bianca Belair on NXT? I think she is the best, and eventually should be moving on to the main roster. Bianca's good. She's a great hybrid, as I like to call it. I saw her before she even got TV time on NXT. They would just highlight her like she could do this much more than a lot of the guys and the girls. So and then when she debuted, and I'm like, oh, that's that girl I saw on Twitter. And when she started using the hair, I'm like, okay, that's inventive. And I started thinking about Best of the Best too. When Tommy fought a guy, he was using his hair, and he had like a knife in his hair, and she was spinning around, and it was crazy. I'm just and stuff like that. So yeah, I like her. I like her indeed. Her stuff with but if we're gonna go the best on NXT in terms of, I gotta go in terms of female wise, gotta go with uh, Nikki. I love her. She plays that role so well. The crazy. I love her as that role. And I swear, the scary part about her and Bianca, if they got called up, and this is the problem right now, is with these, when they move over to the main roster, they get lost in a shuffle and they don't know what to do with them because Vince does not watch NXT, so he does not see what, and he don't buy that. Look at what happened to Asuka. Look at what's happened to Shinsuke. Look what happened to Bobby Roode. Look at what happened to all these people who were hits down in NXT, and now they're over in the main roster. They are losing it. Look at what they've done to Asuka. I hate what they've done. I love Kana. I mean, Asuka. I was just saying Kana. But I love her, and she should be dominating people, not like what she is now. And this whole thing she's got now with um this whole like rush hour theme like they got with her, and was, it's like, no, I'm sorry, they're losing it. They are. If I were to do, okay, Oh yeah, I think that's gonna definitely help us forget that crappy show. Let's see. Let's see. Did you see the Glass second trailer and the Aladdin teaser? I sure did, and I want to see more of the Aladdin. I like what I saw. They didn't give too much away, but seeing the Cave of Wonders and the same actor voicing the voice of the lion or the tiger that talks. The diamond in the rough. So I was like, okay. The actor playing Aladdin, I'm like, okay, and but the Glass trailer was great. I love that. I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be fun. Uh, which Godzilla Rogue do you think is most underrated? Rodan, easy. Uh, Birds of Prey versus Gotham Sirens. Who could win in that fight? Your opinion? Birds of Prey. Get Catwoman out of the way. Get Harley out of the way. You just got to deal with. It's just Ivy that you really got to deal with. That's it. Cosmic Ghost Rider. Yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider is cool. My folk hero was Pecos Bill. John Henry was my second favorite. Yeah, Pecos Bill. I remember. And Paul Bunyan and people like that, and Calamity Jane. It's good people. Hey Chris, seen Goblin Slayer? No, I have not. What do you think of Shayna Baszler? I like her. She's cool. She's one of the original four horsewomen. Um, she's really cool. Like outside of her character, she's really cool. She's a really cool somebody I could kick it with. I'm like, yeah, I could kick it with Shayna. You know. Um, so yeah, I'm cool with her. One of the biggest things I got to spoil this for y'all, but if y'all know Mamiya Yim, the Blasian baddie, she got signed by the WWE now. I'm so happy for her. Finally, I've been wanting Mia to get signed. She finally got signed. She's now a part of NXT. Um, uh, so it's great. I'm hoping to hear Mercedes Martinez get signed yet. I've been watching these girls through their indie work, so I'm a big fan of them. Uh, Marion, would you like to see a Mecha Godzilla and Gia show up in the MonsterVerse? We're probably going to see them eventually, especially Gia. Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella. That match. What do you think of this booking? I could care less. I really. First of all, to me, why Nikki? I don't know. It's like I thought this woman. First of all, I thought you couldn't wrestle more because your neck. And here's how I wanted to go, and hopefully it goes this way because she gets her shit rocked. That's about it. Um, I don't hate the Bellas, but when they go about calling them legendary, that's not. I don't look at that. No way. Um, so we'll have to see. Okay. Top Notch Gaming. Hey Chris, good to see you again. Yeah, thanks. Let's see what else happened at Comic Con. I met Sarah Pacelli. Took a picture with Sarah. She was great. Sarah Pacelli, the artist, helped bring Miles Morales to life. She now is the artist on the Fantastic Four comic. Met her. She was a sweetheart. I was waiting for them. I was waiting, and these guys was like, what are you waiting for?" I was like, dude, I just want to take a picture of Miss Pacelli. That's it. She's like, come on. And she's like, come on. And she looked like Jessica Jones. I was like, she had glasses, but she had a leather jacket, not like mine, but it was kind of like Jessica Jones jacket, and she had a scarf around her neck, and she took a picture of me, and sweet girl, sweet girl. I wanted to say something in Italian to her, but my Italian sucks. But she was really nice. Met Ken Lashley, really nice guy. Um, met I met met Tim Seeley, and he told me why he came up with the He-Man versus the Injustice. It was great. He met me before, and so he said, "You look familiar. We've met before, haven't we?" I was like, "Yeah, 2 years ago." Uh, Got to speak to Mr. Peter Tomase again. It was great. He remembered me. Amy Chu, got to speak with her again. And of course, probably one of the biggest. It's on my top highlights. I got to meet a legend in hip hop that I grew up with, but now has transitioned so well into comics. I got to meet Daryl DMC McDaniels of Run DMC, and we were just kicking it and talking. He asked me where I'm from. I said I grew up in Vernon, New York. He's like, Money Vern? He's like, yeah, I know it. He's like, and we would just talk. I was just telling him how much I like his comic and things like that. I was geeking the fuck out because I grew up with Run DMC guys. I'll tell you, it's like if it wasn't for them, the Adidas and the Adidas tracksuits. That's why I wore them back in the day. So it was great to meet them. So that was one of the biggest highlights for me of this year's con. And probably another big highlight for me is I got to meet another friend that I made on YouTube, on the internet. And I'm a big supporter of hers. Y'all know Comic Uno, right? If y'all do, met her. Got to meet Kat finally. The meeting that a lot of people have been waiting for, we met. It was kind of almost like a coincidence, kind of like we bumped in and she was going through Artist Alley. I had my head down and I was on my phone and I looked up and kind of looked. I was like, and we both looked at it, caught eye, and we were like, hey. She was like, yo, she's like, how you doing? I'm like, good. And she's like, let's get this picture. Come on. Like, we took a picture. It was great. So that was a highlight for me, meeting Kat. So, but most of the time, guys, for anybody who tries to find me at Comic-Con, if you're at Comic-Con, you're ever to go to New York Comic-Con, just go to Artist Alley because that's where I spend most of my time in Artist Alley, just around my favorite creators and new creators and things like that. Movie industry and business, they don't care about people's feelings. Yeah, we're going to see X-Men on the MCU. All right, yeah, that's what's going down. Do you think the Captain Marvel movie will end with Carol getting a message from Nick Fury, thus making way for season 4? No, because this movie takes place in the 1990s. It's not. It's probably going to lead to where she's been all these years, but other than that, no. That's not. I doubt that's what's going. Do you hope Marvel will get the full rights to Spider-Man back from Sony? I want to hope. I still have hope they will, because with the success of how successful Venom did, now Sony's going to move forward with all those other, the Black Cat movie, the Silver Sable movie, all these. They have pretty much a lot of Spider-Man characters. They don't have any other Marvel characters. It's just all Spider-Man characters. The Morbius movie and the Night Watch movie. I could care less too much. Which anime character could you see being a host to the Carnage symbiote? I don't know, because the Carnage symbiote and Cletus are too attached. You have to find somebody who's psychotic and more psychotic than Cletus Cassidy. Brie Bella dangerous in the ring. All right, first of all, I don't think she's dangerous in the ring. What happened happened. Yes, she knocked Liv out. But I don't think she's dangerous. It's the first time that's ever happened. She's never hurt anybody, and it's not like she didn't care because she apologized. I don't think she's dangerous, but it happened. It did happen. I saw it. I mean, she kicked and she kicked again, and that first you could see Liv was out. Nobody was home, and when she was coming down, whop again. Now she should have been out of that. They should have got her out of that ring quick. And Liv coming back in for that spot, it's just like somebody should have told Liv and grab him, like, no, you're done. Stay out. Even I would have, even if I was the ref somewhat, throw that X up. Like, bam, okay. But, sorry, Alexa. I didn't mean to. Sorry about that. Alexa heard that. Called her name again, sorry. Um, did you see the live action Death Battle? Danny, I don't watch Death Battle. I don't watch them. I do not care about them. I do not watch them. I don't. Top notch. Do you think Darth Maul should get his own standalone film? Maybe. I want them to kind of calm down with Star Wars, and they're gonna start doing that now because they're putting out too much and it's not working. Um, One movie comes out and we're trying to ingest that, absorb what happened in that, and then here comes the next one, and it's too much. What made the originals work is because there was a time to adjust to each one of them. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting that. And if you do this, you do that. Prequels are fine to some degree, but it also leaves holes in the story. I have not watched the Solo. I have to check out the Solo. It did, from what I heard, it didn't perform that well. But I'm a judge. I judge for myself. I don't listen to critics. I don't do all that other stuff. Which nine realms of Norse mythology would you like to see Kratos go to in the next God of War? Well, we don't know what it's going to be. I can't really give a definitive answer for that one. Um, Monica, I don't watch Chicago Fire like that. Sorry, Tony. I'm not. There's just too much stuff for me to watch. I can't watch everything Dick Wolf does. I don't watch Chicago Fire. The newest thing that he does, FBI, I do watch that. Um, I watch Chicago Fire when I can. Same thing of like Chicago PD and all that stuff. I watch it when I can. But who was the best cosplayer at a Comic Con that pulled off the best look in your honest opinion? Um, I've only met a few professional cosplayers. If that's what you mean, I met one of my favorite Ivy Doom Kitty last year. No, not last year. 2016. I met her. She was great. I didn't get to meet her this year. She was there. I didn't get to meet her. So I can't really say that, give a definitive answer on that one either. But some of the best, even some of the like just people who just average cosplayers. Like this year, what was really cool, there was a guy dressed up as Titus from Final Fantasy 10 on top, and underneath him he was on top of a chocobo, a blue chocobo, and I was like, and it was all him, his legs, but the chocobo was so big, and I was like, he was a star. Like I said, I took a picture of that guy. I was like, that was dope. It was amazing. Uh, it's like, yeah, Bree Bell. Yeah, y'all gotta stop. Bree's not dangerous. She's not dangerous. It is what it is. The Miz is a good heel. He's a good heel, but there are times I look at him and I'm just like, he's a little shitty heel. He's a cowardly heel. But then I don't see how people allow him to get the last words and stuff. He is so easy to have a comeback for. Like just recently, he's going on record and razzing on AJ about he made the WWE title irrelevant and all that other stuff, and he's all like, yeah, Brian, I, when I beat you, I beat you, I'm like, and I was this champion, and I'm like, it's like, oh my God, somebody come back. Me and Malcolm say it all the time. It's like he leaves him so wide open that somebody just throws shit right on him, but nobody does. He always gets the last word, like a Stephanie McMahon. And I'm just like, oh my God. Um, she botches a lot. Yeah, she botches a lot, and but she's not that dangerous. Scariest Michael moment to you? The first Halloween movie. That's just easy. Uh, Chris, do you think Michael will kill Laurie in this movie? Oh, there's a small part of me that thinks we're gonna see the end of Laurie's story here. Um, I but there's rumor that they're already working on a sequel. So I don't want to see Laurie die, but if she goes out fighting honorably, thumbs up. Do you want Sigourney Weaver to come to play to return to the Alien franchise? Not really. Um, so, uh, I don't know what they're gonna do with the Alien franchise because that's gonna be under Disney now. Y'all keep just remember that. All that stuff is gonna be under Disney, and I don't know. I think I think what Disney should do is franchises like that, sell that to another studio. Give that all really what you want is the Marvel stuff. Like, okay, y'all can have that, but this y'all will sell it off. Nikki Cross. Yes, Nikki is great. Nikki is great. She is and it's gonna and I'm scared for her to go move over to the main roster because her character is just so good. Like just recently now she I know what you did. It's like, oh my god, she's great. I love her. I love her. Um, do you follow the YouTube channel Dead Meat? No. Um, if Robin Williams was still with us, I would love to see him as live action Genie. I think they would have casted him as live action Genie. That's the biggest question. Is like, what is he? What is Genie gonna look like? What is Will Smith gonna look like as Genie? Is he gonna be CGI'd or is he really gonna be a Genie? We'll have to wait. W is the pits. Sorry, but after Vince dominated the industry, wrestling isn't what it used to be. I don't agree with that too much because there's still good stuff that WWE puts out. And if you're just focusing on WWE in terms of Raw and SmackDown, then you're not watching NXT. Um, then there's New Japan, which do you watch New Japan? Then there's all the other independent companies that are doing well. So in some ways, not really. Yes, it is bad that they don't even look at those companies as competition, but for you to sell out Madison Square Garden and you're not WWE, that's saying something. Okay? And Madison Square Garden, that's hollowed ground. Like nobody else goes to wrestle there, but now we could say somebody else did, and they sold out the Garden. My problem with WWE in general is the old guard just seems doesn't want to get with the program. They're not making their stars, their future stars. There really is no real stars. We can say we love these characters and all, but they're not really getting behind them because they're still relying on the old guard, like Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker, and all these people from the past, and not focusing on the stars they got now. It's true. It's true. And if you don't believe that, the proof is in the pudding. Vince is way out of time with himself because he doesn't watch any other stuff. He's so focused now on this, so focused on um he's so focused on the XFL now. It's like Malcolm and I, my brother and I always say he needs to pass the wrestling and all that stuff off to Triple H, and he could just focus on the business aspect of WWE. That's basically. Um, what did you think of Eddie Brock getting the symbiote back in the comics? I understand why they did it. WWE lost its talent booking and story writing. It's completely junk now. Talent booking, yeah, story writing. There's, I don't. Once again, what are you watching? Because once again, NXT is the place to be. So watch that. If you can't watch the main stuff, watch NXT, and you'll see like it's not dead. They book writing right. But let's not. I mean, yeah, I understand. But then there's the Becky Lynch and Charlotte stuff going on, which is great. I'm loving it. But they have this whole concept of, okay, is Becky heel? Is Charlotte face? And vice versa. But the crowd loves Becky. I don't boo Becky. I love my queen. That's my queen right there. Like, I will not boo her. And but it is what it is. Like, I ain't stopping watching that. Y'all kid, but you're even I've been through shit before with this company, and I've been able to get out of it and go through it, and I'll stay with it. Um, it is what it is. Vince Russo know how to use mid cards. You okay. Yeah, I'm gonna let that one slide. That one. I'm gonna let
No, who said that?
Travis.
Travis got. I mean, Vince Russo was good at trying to find stuff for everybody to do.
Right.
Not everything was good.
Yeah, not everything was good.
But I did appreciate that he would try to find stuff.
That's where I mean. But the way you saying it, like he was at using them, like he would try to find things for them, but not everything was good with him. Um, okay, Darth, what is your favorite MCU film so far, and which one is your least favorite? It's still Winter Soldier. It's still Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier's first. Um, Black Panther's up there. Um, but yeah, Winter Soldier is still one of my favorite MCU films. It is. It still is. And yeah, Chris Evans, he signed off. Basically, wrote a beautiful on his Twitter. His 8-year tenant with the character is done. Um, my least favorite, probably Dark World. Thor Dark World. God. Top notch. What is your opinion on the live action Lion King? Do you think it's dumb that Jeremy Irons didn't return as Scar, but James Earl Jones returned as Mufasa at least? I don't think it's dumb. Maybe Mr. Irons just couldn't do it. You know, maybe he was doing something that he couldn't commit to it. Who knows? Um, I'm interested because it's like, okay, when they mean live action, how is it gonna be? Is it gonna look like they did the Jungle Book? Because I actually like the Jungle Book, so that's my biggest problem with it. Um, but I don't think it's dumb. I just think it's interesting. They didn't get everybody back. They didn't get the real original actress to play Nala. They didn't go with that. So, Chris, do you think it's time for Marvel to bring TV characters into the movies? Been saying that for years. Been saying that, especially when you already say that these TV series are in the MCU. Yes, so put them in it. Acknowledge that they're there. I don't think the Bella's twins. So I don't like the Bella twins. So the fact that they turned on Ronda is so random. Is I don't like it. It's random because it's not. It's random because they were all teammate and everything like that. And then it was announced that at Evolution or so, like she would fight Nick. So, and it's just like, wait a minute. So how are you like? How y'all building that up? Then I thought it was gonna come across as Nikki was just gonna be like, you know what? Um, I want to challenge you, blah blah blah. Like it's gonna be face, face, face. But nobody's gonna boo Ronda. So it is what it is. I've been watching old Joshi wrestling. They were very good. Yeah, very good, hard hitting. Um, kind of stiff. You know, I definitely want a sequel to Marvel Spider-Man. You know they're giving it. That's not even a question. Have you seen the show Hilda? No, I have not. Good to see Lita and Trish back. Miss those girls. Two of my favorites. Yes, it is nice to see them, but once again, that's what leads to people. You're not making new stars because now you're relying on the old guard. Once again, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like it's great to see Trish back, and she's 40, but she's still in great shape. It's great to see Lita. I love Lita. I'll always love her, but you got to make your new talent feel more like who they are, and they're not. What's your favorite skin to play as in Spider-Man? Costume. It's not skin. Don't. It's a costume. Um, his spider armor that uh, the last spider armor that from the comics. You know the Gloam Enreal. I love that one. The dark suit is cool. The stealth suit's cool. Um, I got too many. Um, okay, and I will be right back again, guys. Okay. Um, let's see what else we got here is should Miles get a new superhero identity So he wouldn't use Peter's. I wouldn't mind. First of all, I think it would have been cool if he was called Spider Boy instead of Spider Man. I understand why they did it, but I would have called him Spider Boy. Um, at least he could build up to being a Spider Man. He's still a Spider Man, but I would have used Spider Boy. Juan, that's just me. Uh, um, which slasher would you like to see Mike Myers throw down with? Nobody. Um, because I don't like that. I mean, yeah, they did Freddy versus Jason, but they're more mystical like slashers. Mike Myers is more based on realism. Yeah, I'm excluding all the sequels because Mike Myers has been shot, he's been stabbed, he's been crucified, he's been burnt, and he's still alive. When they started going more mystical and supernatural with the character, I hated it. I didn't like it. Um, keep him more realistic. I'm cool with that. Uh, I mean, in the post credit where it could be fast forward, probably we'll see. I don't know. What if Carnage got an indigo ring? That would never happen. If Heath Ledger was still alive, he would play a perfect Cletus Cassidy with his success as Joker. I could see somebody else playing Cletus. I like Heath Ledger as Joker, but there's someone out there better than him. Um, would you like to see a free roaming game where you could play as a werewolf? Yeah, they did that already. I forgot the name of the game. I think it was called Nightmare Creatures. So, so that was fine. Would you, what would happen if Joker bonded with Carnage symbiote? Uh, Once again, guys, the thing about the Carnage symbiote, it is too bonded with Cletus Cassidy. They were so perfect together. It's hard to get them off of each other. It would never happen. But if it did happen, I think the Carnage symbiote would look at Joe, feel Joe. Okay, yeah, this guy is okay, but he's nothing like my previous. You know, that's what I'm just saying. Who is the worst male wrestler current in WWE? Um, oh God, gee, that's. I want to say Kermit. No, I can't say him. I'm not a big fan of Jinder Mahal. I'm not. Titus O'Neil. I'm not. I can't stand. I'm like to him. I'm like, why is he still here? Like, what does he contribute? I'm sorry, because this whole horror bullshit and the Titus Worldwide don't work for me. I think he is another reason why Apollo is not. First of all, Apollo got called up too early. He should have stayed in NXT and honed his skills more. But yeah, those are some of the people. Uh, Cien almost needs a push. No, he needs to get off the mic. He needs to get off the mic and let Selena Vega do all the talking again, like in NXT. But he's good. And that's the problem once again with the booking. What we're talking about. After Disney merges with Fox, characters such as Homer Simpson will be drinking root beer instead of Duff beer. We don't know that. Y'all got to stop looking at it like that. Like things are gonna extremely change when Disney has this stuff because in look at Disney owns Marvel. You don't see Frank not popping somebody in the head in the comics, do you? He's still doing it. You know, they're not gonna change things too much. I mean, just think about it. Um, Counts up the kills in horror movies. Wait a minute. I think I've seen something of that. What's your list? What's What's on your list of guilty pleasures? Oh, you don't want to know too much. Ever watch TNA wrestling? I did. I don't watch it anymore. I used to watch TNA back. That's where I fell in love with AJ and Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, all those characters like that. But then when TNA when it was an alternative, a good alternative, but then when it became just WCW 2.0, and then after that, I was done. I was done. Um, Eva Marie might get into acting. You think she's? I think you think that's better for her than wrestling. I think so. Eh, give it a shot. Anything's better. I mean, look, I've always said this. To me, Miz, I do not look at Miz as being some Marine. Every time he does the Marine, I'm like, no. Miz does sloppy seconds, basically. He chose a franchise that was already played by two other actors before him. He does direct to DVD. He kills me with this whole I'm in Hollywood. No, you're fucking not. You do direct to DVD movies. And I'm not saying that not all direct to DVD movies are bad, but you do direct to DVD movies. Plus, your co-stars look better than you. I don't care what anybody. Summer, I'm forgetting her name. Summer. Oh, she was with the company. I used to call her Canary Bird because she used to make all noise. But she was in the Marine prior to, and she looked more legit as a badass than Miz does. I can't take him seriously as a badass. I can't. He does nothing for me. Because all I see him is that ignorant fool on the Real World, which I did watch when he was on there. He didn't know Black History Month. I'm just like, this fucker's an idiot. I was like, he's an idiot. I was just, yeah. He'll always be that idiot to me. With all the questionable things Vince McMahon has been doing lately, do you think it will eventually come back to haunt him? I think kind of it is somewhat now, but to me, he needs to. If he doesn't want to be a wrestling promoter, he needs to give that to Triple H. Give it to the guy who loves the industry and is trying to make stars. Look at what I said it before. Watch NXT. What he and his team does down there, it's like, oh my God. It's so good. Just think about that. Be right back. Okay, sauce is done. Thank you very much. Ah, you guys still with me? I hope you guys are. Um, let's see. I love TNA wrestling and Ring of Honor. I I finally found a channel where I can watch Ring of Honor. Um, so I've heard some good things about TNA, and but there have been some bull stuff like over like I know they killed the kid or almost killed the kid. He got hit by a car, and I was like Malcolm showed me. I'm like, this is why I left. Stupid shit like that. I do watch Ring of Honor. I mean, I do watch New Japan on Access TV. Those are old, but I still like to watch them when I can. Um, so yeah, we got uh, Charmander, Bulbasaur, or Squirtle. I like them all, but if I'm more of a Squirtle. So that's my dude. Um, Tessa Blanchard versus Taya Valkyrie reminds me of Victoria and Beth Phoenix to an extent. Uh, are you guys watching the Mae Young Clash? I'm hoping y'all watching that. You know, y'all get to see some good shit on that. Becky Lynch is trying to do the same as Stone Cold did. No matter how hard she tries to be, they won't cheer like that. No, it's not. She's trying. Yeah, and it's but she's speaking from reality of a little bit of. I mean, think about it. And I even said that too. Like, no matter how much they want to try to turn Becky, nobody's gonna boo her. Nobody's gonna boo her. Charlotte makes a better heel than a face. Sasha Banks makes a better heel than a face. They're just and I think WWE needs to realize that. And once again, that's why I say this old guard, these those idiots that just when they hear Vince and Vince says this, oh yeah, it's just good, Vince, just good, that's good stuff. Like they kiss his ass, and not question it. Like, oh, wait a minute, why are we turning Becky heel? Like when she first came out and tried to cut that heel promo, I'm like, what are they doing? Like, really? And then you flip it, and now, and they also go on the fact that they try to say that, well, there's no such thing as a heel and a face. That's bullshit. That's BS. Yes, there is. I'm old school. There's got to be a heel and there's got to be a face. I like that. But I also think it's good to see a face versus face match. And that's why I'm hoping with this Daniel Bryanson match and AJ, like, they don't try to turn them. Like, keep it what it is. There's no need to turn them. Old school. Chris Canyon was underrated. Candino or Chris yeah. For what I heard, Vince doesn't trust the next generation of superstar. Yeah, and why do you think that? Because you're not even trying to give them anything to trust. Like, it's like Samoa Joe could be your fucking best heel. This man, and every time you hear it, Vince loves what this character. It's like, okay, you love him, but that you're just not trusting them. And that when you start not trusting them, then it's time for you to go. You need to stay out of this. And that's the thing. He needs to stop. Just get out of. You just want to handle the business aspect of the company. Do that. But other than that, get out of the. You're not a promoter anymore. You're not. You're just a businessman. That's all you are. That's all you see yourself now. Give it to somebody who cares about what this person is doing with their character, everything like that. That's it. That's basically it. What are your thoughts on the Witcher series? I've never read any of the Witcher stuff, never played the games, but I'm interested in seeing where they go with it. Wish Tobey Maguire costume in Spider-Man game was. Well, we don't know because once again, there are going to be other costumes added with all the DLCs. So we don't know what's going to be. I want the Future Foundation costume. That's what I want. DDP's pop was great. Yeah, it was great, but then how was the rest of his tenant in WWE? Sucked. It sucked. They made him into a perverted stalker. He hated he's talked about it. He came out, I'm the guy taker that has been watching your wife take showers and your ex-wife and everything like that. It's like, what kind of crap is that? So hence why he even said, you know, I hate the whole invasion angle because they didn't take the WCW guys seriously. Oh, okay. Michael B. Jordan is in the WWE Warner Brothers DC choice of pick for a possible replacement of Henry Rollins Superman. That's just a rumor. That's just a rumor. This is a big mistake. What do you think on the rumors? It's just a rumor, and if it is, he's not playing Kal-El. More likely he would play Val Zod. That's who he'd play. That's just a rumor. I just got back from celebrating the life of my friend's husband. That's nice. I think New Day is trash in the WWE. Really? New Day ain't nothing. I would. They took something that was given to them. They were going to be like this whole church going, and look at what they did with it. New Day, love those guys because basically they're doing what it's okay to be. Like they're showcasing now. Like this is 3 black geeks. We don't see that in wrestling. Like they're coming out in Red Lantern gear, Dragon Saiyajin gear. And people are acknowledging what they're doing. Kofi's got the experience. Biggie, I'm still hearing that they may get ready to give him a big push. And Xavier is doing his thing. I could totally disagree with that. Totally disagree with that. They get a reaction. Totally disagree with that. Sorry. I can't. Yo, my bro, what up? Hey, what up? Selena Vega is my new crush. she's good. She had a good they did a video on the WWE channel on YouTube. Her father had died in the 9/11 build incident, and she talked about it. I was like, oh man, I didn't even know about that, so it was really good. What do you think of Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger from Black Line? I loved him. I thought he was great. You know, it wasn't necessarily the Killmonger from the comics because Eric Killmonger in the comics is much bigger. You know, but he is the one guy that can literally constantly beat T'Challa in a hand-to-hand combat fight. He is T'Challa's Moriarty if T'Challa was Sherlock Holmes. And they did something a little different. I knew they were kind of going to go with the route of him being related to, but still, he was really good. His performance in that was good. Michael B. Jordan, I love Michael B. Jordan. He's always supporting this guy. Like the guy is doing his thing. Brothers, I love what he does. I respect his craft, his hustle, you know, and I can't see the future of what he's going to do next. I think they should bring back Killbacker somehow for King. It'd be great. Don't bring back characters. If you start doing that, that takes away from a lot. His death meant something. Like, you bring him back for what? What's the reason to bring him back? Think about it like that. His death meant something. You saw it when he was dying. He was like, Charles, like, I'll get help. Why? He even said it. Why? I don't like when you kill off villains, especially iconic villains. And there's still too many people that are not too familiar with Black Panther, excluding yours truly. I know his somewhat. It was my problem with what they did in the Black Panther movie. They killed off his real arch enemy, Claw. They killed him off. I was like, why'd they kill off Claw? Killmonger is probably his most deadliest enemy, but Claw should have stayed around because I would have loved to seen him become the Claw that we have now, where he's pretty much a being of sound. Like, I would have loved to seen how they would have done that. You know, it was cool to see how they did his arm, but I was like, okay, but don't kill him off. And I thought Andy Serkis was great. He was much better in this than he was in Avengers, because that was just him getting introduced. But still, Um, it was hard for me to see Thor in the state he was in Avengers after Loki. Thanos supposedly killed Loki. I put that and his people. No, a lot of the Asgardians. It was already announced. The Russo said not all the Asgardians are dead, because some of them left with Valkyrie. That's why we didn't see Valkyrie. So she was, um, and Loki, because one, how you doing a TV series with him? Unless this is past, but still. Yeah, it was actually it was a really good performance by Chris Hemsworth in that. To see Thor state, like, I'm a huge Thor fan. I've been reading Thor since I was 10 years old. I've always loved mythology. You name the country, Greek, Norse, Celtic. I love that stuff. I'm a mythology buff, you know, and to see Thor like that, like almost on the stage of being broken. He was broke. He was broken. He was a broken man. I lost my mother. I lost my father. I lost my brother. He's like, oh my God, like I lost my sister. It was like, oh my God, like you want to give him a hug, like, yo, Thor, like, but to see him come back was great. To see him almost, that was probably the best look as Thor being the god of thunder, like him coming down and shooting. I'm like, yeah, that's my Thor. You know, I would love to see him with the helmet on, but you know, it's okay. Um, let's see. Chris Jericho is funnier than the Miz. He is a clown. What do you think? Yeah, Jericho's great. Jericho's just talented. What happened to Fandango? I think Fandango is injured. I think he's injured. Isn't it a shame that The Rock isn't in the Hall of Fame yet? You have his greatest rival Stone Cold in the fame, but not him. Why? I don't think that. I don't like the fact that you got some of these guys going in the Hall of Fame too early. I don't mind that Rock's not in it. I didn't want Stone Cold going in it so early. I didn't think he needed to go in so early, but he did. You know, but he's going. He's already got a spot from guys like him, Taker, Kane for sure. Jericho, those guys got those spots are ready for them. And Triple H, those come on. What do you think of Bill? Sorry, as Pennywise, and um, that family's just talented. His brother played. I liked his brother as Tarzan. You know, I'd love to see him come back as Tarzan. His father is actually the doctor in Thor. That's his father. So yeah, do you think The Simpsons has the biggest track record for predicting the future? I know a lot of people see that, and I'm not gonna just argue that. Fun fact: you didn't know, but Papa Shango is actually I know that, dude. Who do you think you're talking to, dude? I've been through. I'm not just a wrestling WWE guy. I'm a wrestling fan. See, that's the difference. There are people who are just WWE fans. I knew Papa Shango was the Godfather. I knew he was Kama. I knew all that. Hell, how many of y'all knew that Rikishi was all the other guys before? That Rikishi was the man of a thousand faces for WWE before he found Rikishi. Would you play a Daredevil game? Yes. Guys, you ask me that all the time. I'm gonna say yes. Daredevil is my second favorite Marvel character. Who's number one? Spider-Man. y'all guys got y'all guys got to stop asking certain questions. Like, yeah, Chris is gonna say, yeah. Think about that. I heard a rumor that Friday the 13th is getting a reboot. Would you like to see another Jason? Not really. They've done it before. They've done like no. I finally had a chance to sit down and watch Hero Macado. You like it? Like it? Like it? Because I love it. If Nikki Bella wins over Ronda, I'm totally not. You know damn well she's not. That's not even a question. What would the heroes of My Academy think of Kratos, especially after learning about what he did in the past? You've asked me this before, and I've said the same thing. So, bye, Chris. Gotta go. Bye. Sting versus Undertaker should have happened instead of, yeah. And even with the Triple H and Sting match, Sting should have went over. Sting should have went over, not Triple H. There was no need for Triple H to win that. And even how he won it, you shake his hand. Like, get the fuck. Like, I'm going to look at you and be like, you use this. That overbooking that it did have. Overbooking. And then afterwards, Triple H comes out and mocks Sting. And it's like, you just came in and gave me respect and you shake me. Now you want to. I'm be like, no, what the fuck? Like, no. I'll be right back. All right. Let's see. They should have DDP and the feuded for the people's. Oh, and The Rock feud for the people's title of people's champ. Oh, I see what you're going. Okay. Honestly, I think Triple H and Stephanie are the only ones actually trying. I'll just say Triple H. No, I don't go too far with Stephanie. Because, no, I'll just say Triple H, not Stephanie. If Loki faked his death again, then that would ruin his reputation. His reputation. It's Loki. He's not called the goddess of midship for no reason. I understand where you're coming from, but then why would they do? It's once again, it's like why are they doing this TV series about him? And the only way I can think of is like, yeah, it's got to be a prequel. It's got to be like young Loki or something like that. But if it isn't, then yeah, it will take away from. But a lot of people already say that Loki didn't. That made a great comeback, no doubt. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth instead, even though his tenet is up now too, he started to feel like there's no real direction for Thor after I think Dark World. And he was kind of right. Even after Dark World, even into the other Avengers movie, Thor was just almost like there. However, then comes Ragnarok, and wow, a turn of event for the character. And then this, and Avengers, yeah. So yeah, he great comeback. J Money, I thought they were doing a Black Widow solo movie for Scarlet Witch. Yeah, you're talking about the 15 million. Yeah, she's getting paid for that. Do you think that's too much for her to be paid? Why? Because she's a woman? Is that what you're thinking? That is that the reason? I do. I think she's earned it. Yeah, she's been with them since Iron Man 2, which I didn't care for her in that one, because I'm like, okay, what is she really there for? Then leading up to when Whedon got a hand on her, then her character really started to change, and for the better. But I will never say that she does not earn this big payday, because why? Because now I'm gonna question that, dude. You put that question, I'm gonna question that. You think she doesn't deserve that? Why? Because she's a woman? You think because now I'm gonna question you. Give me a reason why you don't think so. Because to me, I got no problem with her getting that big pay. Come on. She has shown her she can hold down a solo movie. Yeah, okay, excluding the Ghost in the Shell movie, which she should never have been in, but Lucy, she with that. Mysterio coming back to WWE. He'll be back on the one next week. He's actually gonna be back next week. He signed a 2-year deal or 3-year deal, I think. He's gonna be full time. I didn't think he was gonna be full time, but he's gonna be facing Shinsuke. It's gonna. It's not. I shouldn't be saying it's gonna be good to see Ray because I've seen him outside of the WWE. I follow him on Instagram. Man, always staying in shape. He's always covering his face when he's not wearing his mask. So, but I already know what the man looked like. It's just like Ray. I know what you look like. But I like to respect that. Yeah, his son Dominic is like 6 feet tall now. Aaliyah, she is she's becoming a very beautiful young woman, looking just like her mom now. So Ray's doing his thing, and when he came back at Royal Rumble, he looked great. Like you could see, like him trimming off all that extra weight worked in his favor, and it'd be a shame to garner him to the cruiserweight division. You can have him do it for, but don't, because that's my problem with the cruiserweight division now. Is like guys like Cedric Alexander and Tony Nese and Ali and all those guys. They're just segregated to that division, and they shouldn't be. They really shouldn't be. Um, um, yeah. The thing about this Black Widow movie I don't like is that this should have happened already. The way I would have done it if it was up to me, I would have pulled Charlotte aside. You're getting your movie. Like are we after Civil War? After not after Civil War. Excuse me. After Captain America: Winter Soldier. That's when I would have did the Black Widow movie. Once, because here's the reason why. There was a lot of build right there when she said, "I gotta find all my covers are blown." Instantly, I would have had ideas right there. Okay, we can go into fact now that since she's not protected by Shield anymore, the KGB, the Red Room, all those people, we could have introduced a lot of the Marvel Russian characters like Red Guardian and the Winter Guard and all this stuff. Because in the comic books, none of the Russian heroes like Black Widow. If she steps foot into Russia, they go after her because they look at her as a traitor. They don't like her. She's like almost like, no, you're not welcome here anymore. This is no longer home. Um, so I would have loved to see them do that. So it should have been after Winter Soldier and not now. So, but has she earned? Should she have had her? Yes, I don't mind that she's getting one, but I think it should have happened earlier. That's how we have. And speaking of which, there you go. See, somebody said it. Um. Oh, you're just saying it should. Yeah, there you go. There you see. J Money said it. Yeah. Okay. Who was your favorite villain in the Black Lagoon anime? Ah, Jesus Christ. Um, man, I gotta go back and watch that because I've only watched it once, and most of the people that had a impression on me were not really villains. Uh, man, I got I might have to come back to that question. Uh, don't forget, Kane was Isaac Yank. Yeah, Kane's been a lot of people too. So, Sting Beast. Oh yeah. I'm sorry because I'm a huge resident too. I'm just seeing how well you know your stuff. Oh yes, no problem. Shane Sting retired. I don't know if he's retired. I don't think he officially retired, but the injury that he took from when he was wrestling Seth, yeah, that did affect him. Um, Stephanie Man is a beast in a gym. Didn't didn't even know she worked out in the gym that hard. She is fit like Triple. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she works out, but I don't think she's as good for the business because she should be doing more. I don't like her character at all. I don't. Do you think Beta Ray Bill will take Thor's place as the god of thunder in the MCU? That's if we do know Beta Ray is in the MCU. Uh, we don't know. I mean, they could go with they could go with they could go with I would say maybe Thunderstrike, but Thunderstrike was more of a Eric Masterson was more of a he was not on Thor's level. He had a mace, but he was not as strong as Thor. Could they bring in Thor girl? I don't know. It does question a lot of stuff like what will they do next, because a lot of the old guard of the MCU are leaving. Their contracts are up, and you know, and a lot of them are not coming back. So I have no problem with Scarlet getting that much money. It's just a question. Okay, no problem. Kane as Undertaker's brother was some of the greatest storytelling during the time. I love the concept of two brothers who one wants to get revenge. It was perfect. Yeah, it was a good story. Even Bret Hart versus Owen, that was a good story. Because there was real. You can kind of say there's probably real animosity right there. Bret. You can think about it. Bret Hart, always one of my favorites. Always coming home with another title. Owen seeing that, and he's thinking he's better, and they have their match. Owen beats Bret, but still, what happened? What happened? Bret still got the big hoorah at the end of WrestleMania because he won the belt. It's think about it. So I'll never forget that. Everybody comes in and congratulating Bret, and there's Owen right out there, and he's just looking, what about me? Like almost like, yeah, but the Taker, the way they built that up was really interesting. With Taker killed his family or some stuff. Just, but we find out that Paul Bear, rest in peace. Basically had an affair with Taker's mom, and Kane was born, and Kane gets burnt, and revenge. I'll never forget when he debuted. That scared the hell out of me. I ain't gonna lie, that scared me. He scared me because the way the camera angle and they panned on him. I jumped back like, what the hell was? And you see him rip the door off, and Taker for the first time since Taker showing some kind of fear. I was like, whoa, yo, Taker is scared. Like the way he looked, I'm like, Taker's look scared, and it was just great. That was good. What do you think of the new female doctor actress playing that? I have not watched. Like I said, I have not watched anything this week. And I'm gonna watch Doctor Who too. So I have a lot of stuff to watch. When I do watch it, I will give you a review on my thoughts on it. But I've been hearing great things about the new Doctor, and that just makes me happy. Let's see, where am I? Okay, I've heard that this guy named John Capi, a movie critic, said that the $15 million is ridiculous for an actor to get that much. He was talking about Scarlett Johansson and the Black. Yeah, and you know what? These critics, uh, you know, it's like these critics sometimes they kill me. They make me laugh because I'm like, you know what? You're critiquing someone with whose job is to act, and also the fact that one, this is Disney we're talking about, and they can shove out that money. I have no problem once again with her getting that big payday, and not only the payday, but then the revenue of the movie. So you think about that. Whenever this movie comes out, that revenue that she's from the publicity from the she's gonna get paid no matter what, a double that more amount. So it is what it is. Good morning from Plurf. I got one of my Aussie Pack members in. Hey George. Let's see. Which classic Doctor villain would you like to see come back? For me would be I want to see the Weeping Angels come back. There was a speaking of Weeping Angels, there was a woman at this year's Comic-Con who was cosplaying as a Weeping Angel. I took a picture and she had her eyes like this, and I put "Don't blink." I wanted to, since I have the the 9 plus. I wanted her. I was like, could you move every time, and I was gonna record it. It would have been cool, but she looked great though. Weeping Angels is one of my favorites. I love them. Cybermen, people like that. Doc, what do you think of the final showdown between Cap and Red Skull before uh, Chris Evans leaves? Do you think they will do a final show? I don't know. It would be great if they did, but Marvel's already stated that they're not done with Red Skull. So I wouldn't mind if that feud continues with Bucky as Cap. I'm still Bucky's gonna be Cap. I no about that about it. Scream 5, should it happen, and if so, how? Um, I think I think they don't need to do another Scream. I really don't. Scream's one of my favorite horror franchises, I guess you want to call it. But I think it was one of Wes Craven's finest work, and I don't think they need to do another one. I don't. I didn't watch the TV show on MTV. I didn't. Owen Hart not in the Hall of Fame is sad because that's more on his wife, and everybody needs to understand that. That's more on his wife. She's holding this huge grudge with the company, and that's on his wife. That's not on the Hart family in general. Owen deserves to be. Mark Henry said it best. He always said he would have gone into the Hall of Fame. Owen should have went in before him, and that's true. Owen should have been in the Hall of Fame before, just like Brett, their father. Owen should have been in there next, but it is his wife that's the problem. That's where it's coming from, and it's becoming a problem because the Hart family in general, it's like it's her. It's Brett even talked about it. Um, I'm hoping someday the Hart Foundation goes in, so Davy, or even I would want first of all I would want Davy Boy going by himself, but Anvil should go in as part of the Hart Foundation, Natty's father, and that's how I would want them to go in. And like I said, I always when we heard that Jim Anvil died, I definitely went on and gave my condolences to Natty because I know what that's like to lose a parent. So I was like, yeah, I gotta just say some words. And I spoke from the heart. I was just like, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, and it'll never truly subside. It's always gonna be there. Um, but what's gonna help is the the good thoughts are gonna help ease that pain a little bit. You know, does for me. That kind of helps. Uh, would you like to see a solo film with Valkyrie starring Tessa Thompson and maybe a random villain in the future? Maybe um, I wouldn't mind that. You know what I'm really interested in? I'm interested in Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth because they're rebooting Men in Black, and they're going to be the stars of Men in Black. So I'm interested. I'm actually kind of interested in that. I wouldn't mind Tessa. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more female solo movies from MCU in the future. Would be great. Um, I still want to know she's Valkyrie, but they never give her real name. Um, because I don't think she's Brunhilde. I think they just said she's a Valkyrie, but I would still like to see. It would be cool, maybe she could be the one. I don't know. Um, we'll see. We'll just see. Other than that, I'll be right back, guys. That's all she was done. That's all she was done. Okay. Um, Kane was truly a monster during the 90s. Hitting him with a chair was like hitting him with paper. You are right. He was truly a scary being. Yeah, he was. Glenn Jacobs made that character work. He did such a great job. That's why when I hear people talk trash about him, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, everybody who worked with him said he was probably one of the safest workers out there. And I'm so happy that he became mayor. He's mayor now. He won. He's legitimately the mayor of Knoxville County, Tennessee, right? Tennessee, yeah, Tennessee. You know, um, it's great. You know, sometimes it's great to see wrestlers' success outside of wrestling. Jesse Ventura is a good example. You know, because sometimes I gotta believe it. You know, it's hard to get out of the professional wrestling game when you start getting up in age, and let's be honest, it's not a case that we don't hear these stories of past wrestlers. You still see them wrestling when they are far past their prime. When, for example, before he passed, but when I was hearing Jimmy Fly Snooker was still wrestling, I'm like, why is he still wrestling? When I was hearing the Funk Brothers were still wrestling, I'm like, even now, the Rock and Roll Express still wrestle. I'm like, I know they love it, but you gotta also be like, you're. There's only so much. The human body is a wonderful thing, but there's a point where the body is telling you, hey, you gotta chill. Like, we can't do this. I can't do this no more. You know, I mean, somehow it worked for Ric Flair. Somehow they always said Ric Flair found the fountain of youth, and he could still do it. But still, when you hear these wrestlers find success outside of their past occupation, being a professional wrestler, I'm always happy for them. Or so, yeah. But Kane is a good example of. I mean, yeah, he's back now for a short term, but sooner or later, Vince got to realize, okay, he's the mayor now. Like, he's got mayoral duties to the state of Tennessee. You know, uh, which Marvel MCU villain would you like to see make a comeback? For me, Ultron. I don't think Ultron's dead. Ultron is a good example because Ultron is kind of like Brainiac. When you think you got him, when you think you killed him, he comes back. And I would not mind Ultron coming back. The only hero that there's a couple of heroes I would like to see make comebacks. I would love to see Lady Sif come back because she was almost just written out, and that's BS. Um, I would like to see Quicksilver come back somehow because I don't think he got a good tenant that he needed, and they've already started saying, like, rumors are that Scarlet Witch is going to be rebooted somewhat as a mutant, and I'm like, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. Okay, so I've read she is Brunhilde Valkyrie. I read about it. Oh, okay, so they did that. That's fine. If Taker makes the Hall of Fame, will he present himself as Taker or Mark Calloway? Who should have ducked him? Kane. Wait, hold on. First one. If yeah, hold, yeah. Let me read that. If he makes the Hall of Fame, yeah. Who wrote that? Top. If Kane's Taker's going into Hall of Fame, that's not even a question of if. That word shouldn't even be in there. He's going, but yes, I would have him come out as Mark Calloway. I would have him decked out in a black suit, but him as as Mark Calloway. Break character and let people's because when he does interviews, okay, he don't do a lot of interviews. He don't do a lot of podcasts or anything like that. There's a recent podcast interview where he's not in character, and it's rare. That's always rare to see. But I would love to see him as Mark Calloway, not as the Undertaker. Then do Taker maybe at the end, like kind of like like But who should induct him? I would say Kane. Um, Vince probably could too because Vince was a help of his creation. Um, but it would if it. But if anybody, there's also I would go Ted DiBiase. I wouldn't mind Ted DiBiase. It was Ted DiBiase that brought him in Survivor Series. Remember that? Look at the size of that ham hock. Rest in peace, Roddy Piper. But yeah,
I'd say Kane, Vince, Ted. Kane, Vince, Ted, Sean.
Sean? Yeah.
And most importantly, Mick Foley.
Mick Foley.
Probably, unlike, besides Kane, probably Undertaker's best rival.
Right. I wouldn't say, there's a part of me that may say maybe the Paul Bear's sons, but I don't know how well they knew him. So, and I got a lot of problem with Paul Bear's sons because his sons were on Pawn Stars. One time I was just flipping through the channels and I saw Pawn Stars and Paul Bear's son selling his dad's ring. And I'm like, this mother, like, really? No, you don't sell that. No. I laughed my head off when Edge met up with Kurt Angle backstage and showed pictures of him was stuffed. Edge wrote like I suck on the back of them. Oh yeah, that was funny. Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness was great, especially his attire and look at WrestleMania was true. When he started doing Ministry Taker and started speaking that pig Latin, that's when I really thought, yo, this guy really is into satanic stuff. I'm like, this guy, where he looked like a Nosferatu. He looked like a vampire. Yeah, that's right. The irony is he hated that Ministry of Darkness stuff, and I don't blame him. I mean,
actually, corporate ministry.
Yeah, corporate ministry. Come on, but. I love the theme he had, but yeah, he was doing some serious like that when they hung Boss Man. I'm like, yo, he calling women sluts, and I'm gonna do this to Stephanie. He tried to rape. I'm like, yo, that stuff like that. Can you imagine Kane becoming a real life? Kane. Can you imagine? Kane became a real life Mike Hagar. That's right. Yes, that's right. He did become Mike Hagar. Yeah. Hagar in the final fight, he was a pro wrestler, became mayor of Metro City. Yeah, that's true. What would Kratos think of Thor? Well, we're gonna have to see because Thor is gonna be probably in a sequel. I'm afraid Taker will hurt his body badly and never walk again. He's done so much in the near 30 years he's been around. I really want him to stop so he doesn't further get any injuries. Yeah, I don't. That's why it's nice to see him, but I don't want to see him in a crutch or chair or crutches or had to get legs amputated or something. It is sad. Taker has done a lot, and he's a big man. So let's put that also. He's a big man, and we know people bigger in stature that hurts their body more. The bigger you are, the more aches you're gonna get, and that's true. That's true. And yeah, he just had a hip replacement. And going back, me and Malcolm were just watching his match with Shawn at WrestleMania and the leap over the ring, and Sim Snuka was supposed to catch him, and it's like, oh, it still gets me like, oh, that was where I literally thought, oh, he's dead, I thought Taker was dead, I thought he was dead, and scared the hell out of me, and to see, and you can see why Sim Snuka's no longer with the company now. All you had to do was catch this man, and you didn't. And you see it, like, even Sean even kind of shoves him over to him, and he still couldn't catch him. I mean, it's not like, okay, he got to catch the big man, but you just put your body, this is somebody's life you got in your hand. And that's something about professional wrestling that I think a lot of people have to understand and also have to respect about when these people do. It's like, your life is in this other person's hand. So when things go wrong, it's bad, and it's scary, and it's like, it's preordained, but everything physical in there is very real. So when people, that's the F word still pisses me off when I hear people say it. Oh, it's fake, Dana White loves to say that. Oh, it's fake, blah blah blah, and I'm like, Dana, go sit down, Dana. Or when I still think it was a work, but remember the former porn star Mia Khalifa was like, it's fake, and she went in the ring and did it. I watched that. I actually reacted to that video when she went and trained, and there's some of the stuff I'm looking at, and I'm like, she didn't even chop her that hard. Like, I wanted this wrestler to really lay it into her, like, and she's like, oh, my back, I'm hurt. I'm like, bitch, you've been on your back your career, and you're like, man, sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but yeah, stuff like that pisses me off. I laughed though, but Malcolm thinks he didn't like it too much. I kind of laughed.
I didn't like it at all because it wasn't what people wanted. Yeah. It was all work. The irony is, she did something that a professional wrestler would do: work people.
Yeah. The question is, when is he going? That's the good question. Yeah, when is Taker going? I guess because they get the call. Most of the time, they get the call, and it's almost still kind of up to them. Like, should we want to put you on? Do you accept? That's how it went for Goldberg and people like that. A lot of folks hate Titan show, especially what they did with the character Starfire, Beast Boy, and Raven. Do you think the show might get canceled? From what I'm understanding, the show has already been renewed, and I think for two seasons. I'm like, that's too fast. Like, come on. Like, really? I don't care for the show. I ain't gonna watch it. I didn't watch the first episode because I just seeing those teasers just did nothing for me. Fuck Batman, Dick Grayson, killing people. My friend Jay said he was killing people. He broke this guy's neck. Even when I think he's a cop in that show, and he's like a complete dick. Dick. That's like, man, that's not Dick Grayson. That's Jason Todd. Like, that's stupid. And Jason Todd is in the show too. I know it will never happen, but I'd like to see an Avenger movie where Fin Fang Foom is a villain. Fin Fang Foom is more of an Iron Man villain instead of an Avengers villain, but and they could do Fin Fang Foom in a space movie. He could be in Captain Marvel villain. We don't know, because he's from outer space. He's not really his race. The Makalanians are dragon-like, and he's the smallest of his race. So that's crazy.
Why is he the most known?
Because the rest of them don't come to Earth. Now what? Wait, hold on. Now what's left Now, what left? Kane chokeslamming gang members in the streets. Like, okay, I see. I love the segment when Stone Cold became CEO and started doing things his way in the office. So funny. Okay. Taker flying over the ropes. You see your life flash before your eyes in a second because you got a giant flying your way. Yeah, it's scary. I mean, Taker has amazing agility for a big man. For him, a big man. I mean, we he's classified as a big man, and he is a big man. He's almost 7 feet tall. You know, but his size, he's different than most big men. He's not like a Andre the Giant or King Kong Bundy or Vader. God rest Vader. Vader was agile for his size too. Um, and Big Show was doing things that people would tell him stop doing, like drop kicks. You know, now it's to the point the big man has in professional wrestling has evolved, but to me, it shouldn't. Personally, I don't like the evolution too much. It takes away from the aspect of a big man in terms of like like Braun Strowman drop kicks and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm kind of like Stone Cold, a little old school. When the big man giant comes in, it's almost like, oh fuck, like you hit them, they pop, and just one shot, whop, and you know it's gonna go. But we've seen. I mean, even to some degree, Kali. I know he wasn't as good as people think he was, but if I'm wrestling him and I Irish whip, duck, and I see him do a wind kick, that's gonna scare the shit out of me. Like, yo, I'm probably gonna fall before I even supposedly get hit, because that's gonna like, oh my god, like he did that, like I can't believe he did that. You know, when he did that, I was like, whoa, he actually lifted his leg up like that.
Okay, so what do you think about Killian Dane though?
Once again, Killian Dane he's a big man. He's how tall is he? Because classifying a big man now is like, how do you classify it? You want to classify it as you're tall or you're big in stature. Killian Dane, yeah.
Mark Henry is not compared to Big Show and Kane. When they had that triple threat match where Mark Henry came off screen with that splash, Mark Henry was the smaller, but Mark Henry is considered a big man.
Yeah, he's considered a big man. Killian Dane is great and he's good for a big man his size. But I wouldn't touch him because he's hairy. I don't like hairy. That creeps me out. Like, but it does amaze me, but it also takes away that yay. Like, to me, the big man aspect should work a little differently. But then there's also the point they should work kind of more aggressively as well. You understand what I'm saying? Like, like when they hit pop, like, like I love okay, here's the thing about like people. I love Big Show. I love Paul White. But there are things about Paul White's offensive style that bothers me. And booking wise, they literally should be booking like, okay, here's a good example. Once he started doing the WMD, the whole,
that's where it all started.
It all started with that. Once he started doing that, like that alone bothers me, because there was a time he was on the news one time at the airport, and this guy kept just harassing him, and he hit this guy once, and he went flying. Now, there's times you see Show get somebody in the corner, and then and I'm like, dude, he punched this dude somebody that big with a fist like this punches you in your ribs or your gut, you should fall down with just, oh my God, like I'm dead. That's it. I'm done. Like almost like your kidneys should explode. But he goes, and then he went into the chop. But once he starts doing the WMD, and he started doing that, I was like, man, there shouldn't even be a time. He should be like, soon as a one punch. That's it.
Especially when you got matches where, oh, he's supposed to be so angry at the friends, like, man, just me.
Yeah, like when he, yeah, like, yeah, like no, just punch him, like, whop, that's it. But no, they want to always build that up, like when Jericho, and then whop, and instead it's over. It's just stuff like that, guys. Is like, I don't like sometimes how they book big men. Sometimes it's like Paul White was a good example of that. And but Big Show, I've watched him since WCW, and hell, I watched him since they booked him to be Andre the Giant's son. But they dropped really quickly. WCW that was the smartest thing they did, where he came out and razzed on Hulk Hogan, you killed my father. I'm like, my wrestling history, sir, Andre never had any kids. And that's how easy they made me believe that. It is what it is. But yeah. Let's see, what is your favorite? No, I did that. I already talked about favorite villains. Who is your pick to win the World Series now? Mine is the Dodgers. I don't care. I really don't. Who is your favorite? I don't know who's to win. I don't know. I ain't following. Oh, okay. Well, I don't care. Uh, who is your favorite? What is your favorite finishing move in wrestling for it's a tie between the choke slam and the tombstone. Favorite finisher. That's kind of hard, but tombstone's up there because that's kind of scary. Um, I put the tombstone up there. That's yeah, that's. I do like moves that are done with kicks, like kicks, like somebody like what Shinsuke does. I love that. Like I love the Kinshasa. Like what? That's back of your head or right in the face. Like you're getting a knee in the face. Like somebody is, bam. The go to sleep. The GTS is sick. I also love good submission holds. So sharpshooters right up there. Um, Ankle lock. The go-go plata. Yeah, I like those stuff like that. Are you enjoying Mortal Hulk? I met Al Ewins at Comic Con, so I told him again. I loved it. It's my second time meeting him. Got pictures of. Like I said, I'm gonna leave when this video goes up. I'm gonna put the link of my entire album in the description. So if anybody wants to see my Comic Con pictures, I'll put it there. Especially if you don't follow me on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. So I'll put it there so you can see it. Jim Ross and the King need to come back. I miss those two banter each other. Oh yeah, King and JR were great. I love their commentary. They're one of my favorites. Right up there with Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan. Good stuff. I think the worst villain ever in MCU is the fake Mandarin. Would you agree, or is he somewhat? Yeah, he's up there. I think they fucked up Malekith. Um, they really messed up the Dark Elves. And you had a good actor playing him, but they messed those up. Curse was messed up too. They messed up a couple of Thor villains big time. Um, I mean, I don't. Surtur, they could have done more with Surtur, but he wasn't as messed up as Curse, Malekith, um, people like that. Let's see. Remember Muhammad Hassan? I wish he had the same. I wish he have stayed in WWE. And to me, in my opinion, he could have had the great championship run. Same with Damian Sandow, but um, Muhammad Hassan. It's funny. He played a Arab character, but he's actually Italian. And it just happened at the wrong time. It was just the wrong timing. But he could have been a great heel. He was already getting the heat. So, and that's the thing. Like that's why I also I'm getting kind of tired of WWE in terms of that booking too. You're a foreigner, so you're a heel. Like definitely, countries. If you come into WWE and you're from any of these countries, if you're from Russia, any of the Middle East, you're naturally a heel. You're gonna be booked as a heel. I hate that. I hate that. And Germany to some degree too. But I hate that. Like, why? Okay, this ain't the Cold War anymore. It's like you could drop that. That's why I like Mustafa Ali. He is great. He's not a heel. He's even though he is of Arabic descent, but he is not a heel, and I love that. And he goes out there and showcases that just because I have that name Ali, I'm not. I'm breaking that mode right there. I love that. Um, but yeah, the Mandarin. I'm going back to the. But it's already said that the real Mandarin is in the MCU, and I'm like, okay, bring him in. I would love this, and Disney needs to stop being so garnished on this fact. Well, the Mandarin is a racist character. No, no, he's not. Like, just because when he came out, yeah, but there's nothing racist about. There are villains come in all shapes and sizes. Like, okay, he's Asian. Just happened what he's. That's it. And you could do him a different way. You know how I could do Mandarin? Do him like they do him now, where he was more like the business guy with the 10 rings on his finger. You got to do him with the green skin. He's got the Fu Manchu mustache and everything like that. It is what it is. What do you think about King Kong versus Godzilla movie that came out in the '60s? I hate that movie. That's why I'm talking about King Kong, but Godzilla better get his win back in his new one. Because that should never happen. That was bullshit. Um, Pedigree was always scary, especially because Triple H. Yeah, you saw what happened when he knocked that guy. Yeah, that was scary. I'm late, bro. What is question? Oh, okay. So, the worm most devastating. You know what's the most devastating move now? Is John Cena's new stupid move, the lightning fist. That bullshit. I I can't stand that thing now. Every time I see it, I was like, yo, he hung out too long with Jackie Chan because he's doing a movie, he's filming a movie Project X with Jackie Chan, and he showcased it on, and I'm like, it is so stupid. It's just as worse as the Cobra. And let me give something about Cobra because the Cobra is actually a real move in martial arts. It's a kung fu move. It's legit, but of course it's done by who? It's done by Santino Marella. So and he put that whole Cobra bullshit in power. But John Cena's new move is so stupid. That thing, I I don't even laugh at it because I want to. It's laughing out of anger. Like I'm just like, but I'm really like this mother. Stupid. Um. Let's see. What was your reaction when Stone Cold stunned McMahon for the first time? Oh my God! Like it was great. I was loving it. They should make a patriotic heel. A patriotic heel. Oh God. Well, we kind of got that with Zeb Coulter and all his nonsense. America and you know and these foreigners and as they sneak across the border. I'm like, yeah, he's like Mario. I'm late. Whatever. My question. Did you come across Calf with Trish and Lita at this year's con and thoughts on the Dragon Ball trailer, Broly? I'm loving it. The Dragon Ball, the new trailer that came out. I actually saw that at Comic Con. The second trailer, and it was great to see. Like they're gonna focus. They're actually gonna. We're gonna see Goku's mom for the first time. That's gonna be great. Um, I didn't get to see Lita and Trish. I didn't even get to see Finn Balor. I wanted to go, but Haley, Sasha Banks, they were booked. I wanted to get my picture taken with them at the autograph booth signing, but they were booked. And as soon as I was going to see them, and then the lady came, the guard was like, "Oh, sorry, overbooked." I was like, "Ah!" I was like, "No." It would have been $50 just to take a picture with Finn. And I was just gonna smile, but we were gonna actually do the too sweet, take the picture together. We couldn't do it. Maybe next time. Uh, so maybe next time, Ken. But yeah, Trish and Lita, they came Saturday and Sunday. I only went uh, Thursday and Friday. Uh, the next con that I'm trying to get to, well, it's next year, but the next con I'm trying to get to is MegaCon in Orlando, Florida. I have friends down in Florida, and it'd be great to meet them in person. Talked to them plenty of times, but never in person. So MegaCon Orlando, not the one in Tampa, and that's going to happen in May 16th to the 19th. I'm trying to go all 4 days, so I'm really, I need I'm keeping in touch with Deadpoolzilla and Craig Simon, and trying to keep them. I'm like, okay, when is the tickets going on sale, so I can know. I've already been looking at how to book flights. Like, okay, round trip 4 days from New York to Orlando. The next thing is booking hotel, things like that. So, but yeah, that's the next one I'm trying to get to. The next con that's happening in New York is the Anime Con. I was supposed to go to that one, but I'm not gonna go. Maybe next year I'll go, and it's gonna be at the Javits Center. But it is what it is. I like characters like Hassan and Sandow because they could have great runs, but nope, they don't. Same thing with the Wyatt family. I was super stoked when they came up in Raw. I loved the gimmick. Yeah. But then they I think the problem with the Wyatt family and that he good on the mic, but over time he was just saying the same thing for me. It got kind of boring for me. I'm like, okay. And then when they started they was doing this Sister Abigail, and and I'm like, okay, like who's Sister Abigail? Like, and then when they did that thing with him and Randy, I was like, yeah. Oh my God, the Lightning Fist! I died after I saw it. It should stick with the 5 movie. It's stupid. It's so stupid. He's saying something in Mandarin. He's basically saying the word. He's saying the name of the move, and then they just ball. He just like pops you on the side of your head, and I'm like, no. Do you like hot wings? I'm not a big spicy food eater. Marion, I don't really. I mean, you know, jalapenos, all that stuff. The ghost, I don't fucks with that. I do not. I have an uncle, my uncle Kurt. He loves hot food, and the problem with that is I think that was what contributed to him getting heart surgery. Is like, because he would eat hot food. He would put hot sauce on everything, and I used to always ask him like, he can drink hot sauce straight. And I'm not the biggest like hot wing food. I mean, I'll eat a couple, but then that's it for me. Like, I don't go too far with it. Um, you know, I stick to what it is. Um, yeah, 2017. Yeah, the MCU really improved with their villains. I think that was one of the biggest things for the MCU, the improvement of the villains. Because that was always in a lot of people's mind the chink in the armor was villain wise. They sucked. You know, you can't let people used to say, "Oh, Loki," but I never looked at Loki in a villain after a while. And but then I even throw Kingpin in there because Kingpin was a great villain, and he is in the MCU. And can't wait to see Bullseye in season 3 of Daredevil because that's who is dressed up as Daredevil. That's Bullseye, and they taking that straight out of the comics. Could this be the end of Karen? Maybe because Karen did that. Bullseye did kill Karen. So we're gonna see. It could be. Um, Hella was great, and you got the great Kate Blanchett to play her. She's a character I wish did not die. She's a character I thought she was gonna play this world's death. She's the goddess of death. This is who, but they went with a different route for Thanos. Like, he's just not obsessed with death. They kind of gave Thanos a character arc. Like, okay, now we are supposed to understand why he's doing this. I get it, but it is what it is. Um, Actually, Andre does have a, yeah. See, but he doesn't have a son. He has a daughter, but he doesn't have a son. Um, so that seems to be all the questions right now. Um, I'm just waiting for questions to come. About to wrap this up in a little bit. That's a little longer than I wanted to, but that's okay. Let's see what's going on. While questions are coming up, I'm just on Facebook. Let's see. Questions. Um, Eli Bradley asks me, um, who was your favorite person to meet at New York Comic Con so far, Chris? Oh, that's easy. Gail Simone. Yep. Gail Simone was easy so far. Gail Simone. Um, Kelly Sue DeConnick was at this year's Comic Con, but I think she was only there on certain days, so I didn't get to meet her. I want to meet Kelly Sue DeConnick too. That's my mission to meet her. I'm trying to meet all my favorite writers who happen to be female that write comics. I've met Gail. I've met Jodie Holster. I want to meet Kelly Thompson. I met Marjorie Bennett twice. That is a god damn. That woman is beautiful. And she's even cuter with her glasses on. So I met her twice. Meredith Finch got to meet twice. So yeah, it's all good. But yeah, I definitely, Eli would definitely say uh, Gail Simone. And she and I have become, let's say, really good friends. She does consider me as a friend, and I consider her as a friend. So, uh, and I love her. So I love her. I love her husband Scott too. Scott is a great guy. He won't let me call him Mr. Simone. I won't. He won't let me. He won't. I'm dead serious. Like he always says no, Scott. Like, he called me Scott. I'm like, okay. That's what. That's funny. I just find that funny. Pick a Marvel hero and a DC villain for that for that hero. What? Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. I get it. Oh, okay. Pick a Marvel villain, Marvel hero, and a DC villain for that hero to fight. Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay. Let's go Spider Man. Easy. Let's go Spider. Easy Spider Man. And villain wise, you pick from any villain from Batman's Rogues Gallery. There you go. Spider Man Scarecrow. I man, that would be great. That would be great. Because I would love to see how he would deal with. Yeah, I would love to see how Peter would deal with fear toxin. Like, man, the fear that Peter would probably have and how to overcome that fear. I'll throw Daredevil and Bane. That would be also a good one. Or Daredevil and Lady Shiva. I would love that. Daredevil and Slade. I could take that too. That's a I I can go Punisher and any one of yeah I throw Joker just in this and Punisher could kill him like so he has a bunch um no he's really saying you can't see me in manner laughing on that. No, he actually is saying that he's actually saying that. Oh, I get it. I'm not. I'm bugging. What is your favorite restaurant, Chris? Um, uh, I'm a big Red Lobster guy. Like I try to have my birthday there all the time if I could. Um, um, yeah, I'm a big seafood eater, so you know, so Red Lobster is definitely up there. Um, and restaurant. See, the thing about restaurants is like there's a fast food restaurant and then there's and Red Lobster is not a fast food restaurant, so not any bit. But yeah, last week I treated my brother and I treated Malcolm and my cousin. They had PF Chang's for the first time. Well, not the first time, but from the authentic restaurant, and and they enjoyed it. So it was cool. Uh, so what time is it? All right, it is. We'll wrap this up in the next 23 minutes. Here we go. Okay, did you get a chance to play uh, Shadow of the Tomb Raider? I love it. If you haven't, you're going to event. Yeah, I'm going to. I still have to play the original, the other two. I have them. I have downloaded on my PS4. I have not touched them yet. I have so many games I have not touched, and I shouldn't say it like that, but yeah, Spider Man took up a lot of my time, like because I was so hooked into that game. It was so much fun. Um, but I'm gonna check it out. Have you seen the movie Shanghai Noon? It's a sequel, of course, of course. I'm a Jackie Chan fan, so of course I have. Pick a DC hero and pick a Marvel villain for that hero. Doctor Doom and Mr. Terrific. One of my favorite DC heroes. Who is your all-time favorite pulp hero? Mine is the Shadow. I've answered this many times. You've heard me say this. It's the Shadow. Phantoms is number 2. Number 3 is who would I put up in number 3? I think number 3 would be the Green Hornet or the Black Bat. I think it's Black Bat. So yeah. Um, so yeah. Eli Bradley. Didn't you meet Mark Bagley? Yeah, I met Mark Bagley. I took a picture with Mark Bagley. Mark Bagley. That was a Wednesday. I met him. He was signing. He was signing Spider Getting #1, #0, his cover, and he signed it for me. That was 20 years in the making, Eli. I've been wanting to meet Mark Bagley for a long time. He's one of my favorite Spider-Man artists. He's not just one of my favorite artists. He's one of my favorite Spider-Man artists. He draws Spider-Man. I love how he draws Spider-Man. And Spider-Geddon, the first issue, is all about the Spider-Man from the video games. So we now have an official Earth number for him. That Earth he is Spider-Man of Earth 1045. I think that's, make sure. I have no idea where they get these numbers from, but yeah, let me make sure. He is Spider-Man of Earth 1048, excuse me. That's where he's from. He's from Earth 1048. You know, and in that comic alone, now I would not mind Christos Gage writing a Spider-Man comic that focuses on that Spider-Man's world, like Tom Taylor did for Injustice. I would not mind Marvel doing that. That would be great, and that would give Insomniac a little bit more time to maybe. Oh, sorry. You could have them focus more in what's to come. Like Christos Gage can do like in between leading up to the next game. That would be great. I would love that. Dark Promise. What do you think of the scene in Justice where the Flash saves his teammates in slow motion whilst playing "Sweet Dreams Are Made of This"? I didn't mind. I just felt like it was almost like it was kind of like Quicksilver's. That's kind of how I looked at it. I'm like, yeah, this just, it is what, look, Justice League, I didn't hate it, but I think it needed more time for certain things, and we needed to get to know some of the characters a lot more in that. That's me. I'm on Twitter. Sorry. All right. Next up, let me see. What's the next question? Eli Bradley. The newest Aquaman trailer. Did it show too much? The extended trailer. Did it show too much? Trailers show too much nowadays anyway. I think people need to get that. Trailers show way too much now, period. But it was really good to see them focus on Black Manta. It was great. But it kind of showed enough. It did. I don't want to say it didn't, but it kind of did. I still want to see the movie. It comes out this December or something like that, so I want to see it. Talk about. Do you remember the game for PS Dino Crisis? It is by Capcom. I know. Pretty amazing game. Yeah, it was fun. Rita. I think her name was. Yeah, and then they ruined it when they did the space one. Yeah, and the zombies and stuff like. No, stupid. Yeah, I would if Capcom wanted to remake that. I wouldn't mind them doing that one. But here's the thing, if the Resident Evil 2 remake is a success, which I think it will be, I wouldn't mind seeing Resident Evil Capcom do 3 and Code Veronica. I would stop right there. Those are the ones you do. Remake all the ones where the controls were not over the shoulder. Anytime where, you know, where you had to walk and they walk do do do, and you know what thing, remember that? Those are the ones they I would like them to remake. Um, I could you imagine how scary they can make Nemesis, because he comes out of nowhere, so that'd be so scary. Like you would be so paranoid, like, okay, when's he coming? Like, ooh, they gotta think about that. Indeed. Um, so yeah, that'd be cool. Let's see. Eli, favorite food. Why do y'all guys ask me that a lot? Like favorite foods. Uh, I have a lot of favorite foods. Big pizza guy. I love seafood. Shrimps, crab, lobster. Not a big scallion eater though. I like scallions, but I don't eat it like that. Um, I've had calamari once a burger. Well done. Make it right. I'm cool. I love, when the meat is it's full of flavor. You know what I'm saying? Like it's seasoned. There's a place that I go to. There was a place I used to go to called Burger Joint, where they used to they would put the burger meat out, and they would put dry rub and dry marinade, like dry, and they keep it out. And so when you put it on the grill, and when you bite into it after, the meat had so much flavor because they let it sit out. It was really good. Like I said, I'm a seafood eater, so salmon, a good salmon, I will eat. You know, if it's glazed up with like a honey glaze or something, I'm all cool with that. Always good chickens are always good for me. I doesn't matter if it's roasted, rotisserie, fried. I try to don't eat too much fried food as I used to. So when I make chicken or so, I do bake it a lot, Eli. So um, I'm a big lover of sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. Um, uh, let's see. Um, good. Just a good sandwich is always good. Like a good Subway sandwich, or hoagie, as some people say. Is good for me. Um, I do like things barbecued. Um, so yeah, I have a lot of favorite. I can go just eating breakfast cereal all day if I had to. Good cereals, like just give me a nice cold glass of milk, and the milk has to be ice cold for me. That's my favorite. And cereals, I'm not picky with too many cereals, except for anything with marshmallows. I could care less about. I don't eat Lucky Charms. Um, I don't like Lucky Charms, but things like that. Um, yeah. Are you excited for Legos DC villains? I'm sure am. We'll see. Regina, thank you. That was her name. Thank you. So yeah. Oh, we still got time. Let's see. All right, next up. Man, another food question. Man, what's y'all on food? Um, you're making me hungry now. I mean, I cooked dinner, so I gotta. uh, favorite pie for dessert. Um, this may be unpatriotic, but key lime pie is my favorite pie. Um, and I would love to try the original key lime pie. But I love key lime pie more than apple. And And that probably hurt a lot of people when I said that. But hey, your alphas, just being honest, guys. I like apple pie. Don't get me wrong. A nice hot warm apple pie with ice cream on the side. Yeah, I'll knock that down real quick. Um, I can do a cherry. I can do cherry. Cherry's good. Um, peach cobbler. I have never had peach cobbler. I'm dead serious about that. Never had peach cobbler. I've had a cobbler, but it wasn't peach. It was apple, and that was slamming. Um, sweet potato, I love. My grandmother, God bless her, she used to kill it. Now her daughter does a good job with it. My aunt. Pumpkin pie is all right, but I prefer its cousin, sweet potato, more. Soul food, yeah, good stuff. What else I've never? Humbleberry I've never had before, and mince berry. Um, no, I haven't had all that stuff. So, but yeah, damn Eli, man, you're crazy with them pie questions, man. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you on the next open mic session. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Um, and you know what? We're gonna wrap that up too, guys. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap this up. I want to get back to watching Flash and Black Lightning and um, uh, the first episode of the new Doctor Who, because tomorrow the next new episode comes on, so I'm gonna watch that too, and I'm gonna eat. I made spaghetti and meat sauce, so I'm gonna eat that. That's what I was doing, running back and forth, guys. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Guys, I will, like I said before, guys, if you want to see those pictures, I will leave the link in the description below later on when this goes up, so you guys can see it for yourself. I will be back for the next open mic, the number 26, because this is the 25th. I'll do it sometime the final week of October. Uh, It'll probably be before Halloween or so. But what can you expect? Expect later me to upload a review of the first episode of Flash, Black Lightning, my thoughts on the first episode of Doctor Who. And you're definitely going to see a review of Halloween later as well, because Halloween comes out next week, I think. I don't think I'm going to see it the first day because I have to work. So I'm probably going to have to see it the week after. But Malcolm definitely said he's going to see it the first day, right after he leaves from work. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's always fun to get your questions. What's the situation going on with my computer? Like I told you guys, they say in 5 to 4 weeks. Then they're gonna call me when it's ready to pick up. But yeah, I want to get my computer so I can get back to doing more creative stuff that like my non-comic book lineup. I've been fixing a lineup for non-comic book lineup. Reaction wise, yeah, it'd be great to do those again. Characters, why I like them series, and really getting back into the comic reviews. I'm working with my green screen again. I want to work more with that. So there's a lot of stuff I want to do, but I can't because I don't have my computer. But in the meantime, thank you guys as always. It's a pleasure, and I will see you guys next time as always. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.